all you recovering emo kids, to another episode of Emo Kids Anonymous podcast with your host Amanda and Rob. How you doing today, Rob?
Wonderful. It's a Monday we're recording this. It's technically like a holiday, so that's nice. And I
Happy
understand you.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to say that. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I didn't grow up in this country. But I
No, it's so
understand
fine.
you've been busy as hell this weekend. You were in the city of Boston's at a Fall Out
Yes.
Boy concert.
No, not a concert. It was a festival. So I
Uh,
attended Boston Calling. Yep, it is a music festival out there in Harvard Stadium. So the only time you will ever see me on Harvard's campus, probably,
that's
is
pretty
for this
nice.
festival. It's a beautiful, I mean, it's a beautiful establishment. Um, there's like a bunch of astroturf, and then of course the main stage is regular grass, which it
I
rained
guess.
on and off for most of the day, and it was about 57 as the high. So it was a cool day that really, as someone who barricaded all day, which means for those who are familiar with barricading, I
Barricaded
basically,
all day.
yes,
Like an
sat
animal.
like I got up, I waited in line. Had to race other people, push them down. I did not push anyone. I'm a good person. I didn't push anyone, but I have beef with other people about how they tried to prevent me from getting to the front.
Piece of
That's
shit.
I know, but I made it. So
Were you with like the FOB Twitter people and your friends, or was it with the fam? You guys went.
yeah, so it was mostly the Fall Out Boy Twitter folks.
Oh,
That's usually when I go to these things. That's who I see there. So that was
yeah.
everyone who I met there, my group of friends, and everything like that.
Interesting collection of people that
Oh,
follow Boy Twitter. Did you reconnect? Are you reconnecting?
did you wait? Did I lose you?
I'm right here. You have me. Do our
No, we're good. We're good. We're good. Good. We're good.
okay. Yeah, it says you're
How
reconnecting.
did
Yeah,
it? It does. Hold
but
on.
it
Give me
said
a
it said
second.
this last time, and it ended up being everything ended up being really fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all good. Yeah. So yeah, it was mostly the Fall Boy Twitter folks, who I end up seeing, and then the day before, we also all, well, most of us went to see Joe do a signing at a comic book shop because
Yes.
he has a couple of comic books. So got a chance to talk to Joe, which was fantastic. It was really awesome. So yeah, got to do the festival barricaded in the rain. Um, since I only stayed at one stage, I saw, like I was telling you earlier, this one female artist named Sophia Izella, who does not shave her armpits but has really cool music. A
I
guy
shave my
named
armpits and I use lady deodorant.
which is just so on brand for you, Rob.
It's for like aerodynamicy and aesthetics and just like also yeah, I learned in wrestling that like hair retains stink. You know what I mean? So
It
just like I want
does.
to minimize the smell of me and also look as much like like a 9-year-old.
A certified twink. That's what you're gonna be.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a
sorry.
Benji. No, you're
Yeah,
fine.
you're good. Go there, brother. Yeah, build that in the room, okay? See you in a bit. Anyways, as we were saying,
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and then there was a guy with a ukulele, Monrovia, and then a band that was very like festival rock pop called The Valley. But they have quite a few followers on a Spotify, like over 1 million. I was not expecting that
they're
at all.
playing all those festivals probably. Yeah, it's a good crowd. They come around.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah. I
call
mean,
like I see this festival kind of that sound is like these are like we're kind of nerds about the music stuff. Like people that aren't really nerdy about it, then they like hear a song they like on their Spotify mix and they just kind of dive into that. Like that's what that kind of genre is to me.
that's an excellent description of festival rock.
Like in the least like derogatory way, it's like people that just
Yeah.
aren't as into music.
Yeah, exactly. There's like no real defined type of genre they belong to, but they're really good at a festival. And these guys definitely were good. And then the main, which was fantastic. The lead singer John had brought up this
Awesome.
dude who was just totally feeling it. The guy had this cowboy hat that was massive, and he gave it to him and told him to wear it, and he didn't want it back. And so John kept it and it actually looked really good on him. I was like, it's a really good look on you. You should just keep that hat forever.
John's kind of a stud. Yeah, he might be one of the better looking guys in our scene.
Yes, I would agree. And
One
one of the
sec, one second,
best,
one second.
go ahead.
Benji, you gotta go, buddy. You can't hang out like that, okay? If you want to play, you can play over here. You can play over here, okay? The game is broken. You broke the PlayStation controller. Remember, you broke it yesterday. That's why you fucked around and found out, brother. I know. I know. I'll be done in a couple hours. I'll see you in a bit. Listen, brother. Oh, menace behavior.
It's okay.
Make sure Okay. Anyways,
You're good. No, yeah, I think he's honestly one of the best frontmen too of the scene. Like he just has a natural charisma
yes,
that a
absolutely.
lot of guys just don't have naturally. He just can make a crowd just do whatever, and he has a good. And it's not like like it's just a good natured dude too. So yes,
Yeah.
I don't. That's one of the bands that I don't know why the main isn't like more popular than they
The
should
main
be.
should be, in my opinion, like should be one of the biggest bands in our scene. Like they are, especially
Yes,
like early Main, Girls Do What They Want, all that. Like, yeah, it's great, like bubblegum, MySpacey, very low
sure.
level of depth to it to a degree. Throughout the
Yeah,
like 2010s and even like they become like the best version of like a Coldplay or a Maroon 5 to me. Like one of those like
yeah,
pop rock, but like with a lot more depth, like great songs. In a just
100%.
world, those main songs are made for like stadiums. Like they're great bands. They've yeah, one of the better like evolutions, like blow ups in our, like new Main is better
Yeah,
than old Main, which you
I
can't
think
say
so
about
too.
95% of bands.
100%. And it's, but they haven't put out a new album in a long time. So I hope they do because I think that they're like they've been doing a lot of appearances. I know they did a tour. I mean, they toured with Fall Out Boy last year. I think they did their own little tour last year too. But I think they're primed to like really start to make some moves. I hope so, anyways. But they were fantastic. All Time Low also was on, and Jack and Alex just really up in the stage game. They kissed on stage.
Yeah, that's the move right now.
Yes, that is the it's an interesting thing, obviously with everything that's happened with that band. That was an interesting one because there's a lot of folks on like Fall Out Boy Twitter who, while I know the allegation against Jack, they went through the entire, like they went through a lawsuit. The allegations were dismissed, or like they won their lawsuit against for defamation, all that stuff. But a lot of people still
Yeah.
hold it like to be true that
I was gonna
what
say it's
happened
something like you
happened.
mentioned all time low on here. There's gonna be a lot of people like getting bothered about stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So there were a lot of people like who just actively did not engage in the set, who were standing there. Like they would either like be on their phones or they would be like ignoring the set while it was going on. But there was still, clearly a lot of like all time low fans there. Um, Jack was all over the stage, and there was one I did laugh a little bit because we had next to us, there was like a woman who was maybe my age, but she looked a little older than me, with a 21-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. Okay, she might have been older than me. And her 10-year-old daughter was really cute wearing a Fall Out Boy shirt. And we asked her if she wanted to squeeze in with us for Fall Out Boy for Barricade. And so she was with us the whole time, but during All Time Low, Jack kept like waving to her and he came down and gave her a pic. I was like, Jack, maybe like, singling out the 10-year-old girl may not be the best move
Yeah.
right now.
Optics right now, like we're being
Just
sweet, but like there's
optics
optic.
wise,
You know how the
you should have
internet
picked like
is.
an
Yeah.
old woman, like maybe it's just not the 10-year-old
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
It's
No,
sweet.
yeah.
Yeah, but with you, maybe that's not the good, like, I mean, it's
It's not
fine. He has
sweet
to do
when
a
you're like,
thing,
because
but
those guys are like, yeah, they're like my age. They're like right between it. They're like 37 probably, right? 38, like 30, like, yeah.
I mean, some of them got gray hair. They're up to my age. Yeah, they're getting
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Those are,
Yeah.
yeah, adult men now.
Yes, but I'll tell you, I mean, they do put on a damn good show. I
They're
mean,
nice.
yeah, all time low. They come hard. And then right after them was Avril. And Avril, your
Wow.
Canadian queen. Yep. And I've never seen Avril live before ever. And it was great to hear some old songs, but like obviously she played new songs too. Alex came out for that thing they did together, Fake as Hell, that song they did together in 2023. Alex from All Time Low came out and sang with her for that. She seems more comfortable to me behind her guitar, but she does 90% of her stuff not with her guitar anymore. So she looks a little uncomfortable on stage and not like as energetic. And she's touring, so I was like, it could also be tired as well. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I find it interesting. Avril's done a really good, maybe it's not her. wasn't ever considered in this world like at any point by anyone
No.
really seriously. She was a pop star with like this
Yes.
aesthetic. And like yes, young kids this and that, but it's like history's done this interesting thing where they've kind of classified her in like our scene loosely, which I think
Yeah.
is nice. Like I don't know
Yes.
if it's warranted, but like it is good because I think she wanted to be in that scene, you know?
Yes. I agree.
Like
Yeah.
I think, but like like we kind of talked about Avril a little. Like I grew up like I lived in Canada as the Avril thing happens. Like I mean, "Complicated's" the biggest song on the fucking planet. Like we're all wearing ties to school and all that shit. Like that's the look. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like they went to the mall. Back in the '90s and the 2000s, people just go to the mall all the time. It was like a whole thing, and they
It
really
was
played that
true.
up in that. There's a whole thing. There's been entire podcast episodes about it, not on our show, but on lesser ones. But like Avril, like was massive up there, and she's very big. One thing about Avril, though, I will say that I find uncomfortable in hindsight, not because of her, but just like it's one of those things. Like as time goes on, it's weird. Do you remember Avril's thing was like the butt crack thing?
Yes, I do remember that. Yes.
That is weird in hindsight that it's like a 16-year-old girl showing like part of her bottom, like, and that was just like a ha ha
Yes.
thing. Like yeah, I mean, I was a little kid, but like at the time, it's just like this is weird, right? This is
It's weird, yeah. But she was trying to show she was like one of the boys, I think. Was that like the whole
Yeah, that's the thing.
aesthetic she was going for?
Yeah, she was trying to be more like, yeah, it wasn't, I don't think it wasn't like a sexual thing. It was just like, yeah, fuck y'all
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yes. But definitely not the look she's going for now. In her like big old boots that are like stiletto high, like probably like God, it has to be like almost a foot tall. I mean, they're just with her glitter like booty shorts and oversized t-shirt.
Nice, yeah.
It is,
It's an
yes,
outfit I would
which
wear.
she's my age, so like bless her, like that is awesome. I too also would hope to be rocking booty shorts on stage at my age
Yeah, yeah,
if I
yeah, on
could.
stage, yeah.
So,
Yeah, hell yeah. No, I
yeah,
mean,
why
yeah,
not?
good for
Yes.
her.
Good for her. Yeah,
And then
it
after
was great.
Avril, who did we see?
Oh, well, after Avril, then it was the main event. And then it was Fall Out Boy, and it was amazing. Um, I've always wanted to see Fall Out Boy in Boston. One, because they do a couple of things. First, when they do Bang the Doldrums, they start out with Dropkick Murphys shipping up to Boston. So they start with the
Wow.
intro. So I've only seen it like on video, like on YouTube. So to hear it live was wild. Patrick did Sweet
Sick.
Caroline on the
I
piano.
saw that clip because of you,
Yep.
yes.
Yes. And everyone joined in and it was fantastic. And then they did their 8 ball, and it was not head first slide. Which, if you're a Fall Out Boy fan who's been following their stuff recently, you know they've played that song probably for like at least 3 of the 4 festivals they've done so far as the 8 ball, and we're all like, just make it part of the set. I know it was part of the set during Tour Dust, but like
Head first
we've
belongs,
heard
yeah,
it.
head first belongs.
Yes, head first belongs. But they played "Fame Is Less Than Infamy" off of "Infinity on High," which
Interesting.
was
Yes, an Infinity on high cut. Interesting.
yes. I was thinking they'd play it from under the cork tree, but alas, they did not. But they did do that, and that was just like, oh, it was such a good song. It was everyone was just jamming out to it. Everyone loved the set. I just could feel the energy in the crowd, and I could just see like even like regular people who don't usually see Fall Out Boy, like the reviews and stuff were just really positive and just proving once again they are just a phenomenal band. And there's a reason that I love them as much as I do.
One of the best. Just and they
One of
do
the
that so
best.
they do like that like they the thing that like held back a lot of our bands we talk about it's like there's kind of like a refusal to give in to like gimmick is like sounds like a bad term but like to me it's not where it's
Yes.
like we are a giant rock band we are going to put on a fucking production like we are here to entertain you like
Yes.
we are going to play the hits we're going to do this we're going to have fire throw flying out of our shit we're going to have giant props we're going to have sheep like it's like they do a very good job in that spot, compared to like, other, for example, like I love Blink or My Chem even, or Green Day, like those bands, like those are just feel so much more like paint by the numbers. My Chem, I mean, it doesn't even feel like they're fucking trying, but like, it's like, I
Yeah.
truly believe like they want to put out, like they want to give you your money's worth in the entire production of it.
Yes. Yeah. And they talk about that all the time in their interviews and stuff. Like Patrick's like, if for someone, this could be like their event for the month. going to see us, and so I want to give them what I would like to see, right? So he's like, I'm going to try my hardest, but yeah, and it was fantastic. And when we were at the Joe signing the day before, he did mention that he was doing something before the show that he wasn't supposed to talk about, which of course got everyone up in arms. Like, what could you not talk about yet that you're going to be doing before the show? And we all thought he was
What was
making a
it?
joke and saying the show, but then he's like, and then I have a show, and I was like, oh, so you're not talking about? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. So
We
it's
still don't know what he was
to
talking
be
about.
TBD. We don't know yet. So it'll be something incredible, I'm sure. But yeah,
Joe,
it
you
was fantastic. It was a
enigmatic
great
bitch.
night.
What are you doing? What are you
The
hiding
rain
from
eventually
us?
stopped. I know, right? Joe can be so enigmatic sometimes.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's yeah, that's a riddle of a man right there. That's interesting.
Yeah. So nope. But that is what I did, which is why my voice is somewhat shot. So apologies to those listening today, or whenever
Sounds
you're listening
cool.
to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. You guys, yeah, we had a fun weekend. That's what matters. You got to see your favorite
Exactly.
bands. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
great time.
Yeah, I got the Phoebe Smelly Cat Sick song voice going on, where I sound
Yeah,
like I
I
smoked
guess.
like a
Yeah.
thousand cigarettes a day. Yeah,
I was
and
thinking
now
some
I
like
have
Rat
a.
Attack, Corny Love going on. Yeah, maybe.
There you go. I could do. Yeah, that's what
That's
I'll
yeah,
go
it's
for.
yeah. No offense to the
A
smelly
true
cat, no
a
offense to
true
Phoebe, but
Miley
yeah.
Cyrus, the true Miley Cyrus
Oh,
like
there we
hoarse
go.
voice.
There we go.
Yes,
Yeah, we love
that's what
Miley.
she
Yeah.
has. Yes, yeah, that's my voice today. So, anyways, but that is what I did this weekend. So, did you do anything fun this weekend, Rob?
Wonderful. Not at all, not at all. Just been hanging out. Benji's here. Benji just been chilling. Did nothing all
Nice.
weekend. It was hot and then it was cold. I uh I heard once that if you once your car hits zero, that you have like 50 more miles on it. And I was just like said bucket and I didn't want to stop for gas the way to pick them up last week. So my car just stopped like halfway. This was Thursday. And I had to
Oh my
walk the rest of the way to
gosh.
pick him up. I had to walk him back to his mom's, and then the next day I had to like walk to get like do the gas thing and stuff like that. So
Yep.
over Thursday and Friday, I walked 50,000 steps. It was actually like 49K or so. Like I put in work,
Sure.
so like I just was kind of like recovering for a couple of days, basically.
Jeez, Rob.
I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. And listen, I'm not going to get into any specifics, but like, yeah, I was once told by a woman, like while I was driving with her, like, hey, you have 50 miles when it's on zero. I was like, that doesn't sound right. But I believed it this time. I don't know.
So how many
I
miles
trust
did you
women,
get?
okay?
How many miles
Like
did you
three.
get so we know?
Three.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
my no, my kid's school is like, yeah, it's like 2.5 miles away. Like, no, I got like up the street.
Perhaps you were more on empty than you thought.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Poor decision making across the board.
All right. So the other thing you did this weekend was also interview someone who's playing Warp Tour. Is that right?
Yes, I did, Amanda. I sure did. And
Yeah. Tell me about that.
let me just say, train wreck. Okay, train wreck. Look, I really pride our what we do here, everything on our channel. If it's something you do solo or the
Yeah.
Robcast or our show, like there's a certain level of like quality and content and integrity and stuff like that that I would like us to have. So I had an interview scheduled with guy named Jeremy Romance that's on the Orlando Warp Tour. And we've been speaking about doing an interview since before we had our show, even. When Warp Tour was, they were first announcing the lineups, I was reaching out to some of the artists on it to do interviews to get some content going, and he accepted. We kind of went, once the pod started, he showed up again, was just like, let's run the interview, this or that. And I'm like, yeah, and just didn't finalize a date. And then this last week, he's like, I'm gonna be with TX2, let's do this interview. And I'm like, all right, interesting. And it was this whole like mental psychological thing. I went to you and our group, like, do we still do this? Do we
Yep.
do that? I don't know. Anyways, Saturday comes for the interview. Obviously, there's no TX2. He's not there. He's busy. And the interview is a train wreck. And we're going to put the interview out this Friday. And I'm going to put like a little disclaimer on either side of it, kind of thing, just for people that aren't hearing this, because like it doesn't feel up to the quality of the stuff we put out. I think the interviews that I've done on the Robcast that we've done on here have been very good. And like we've had a wide variety of guests and really
Yes,
been
we
able
have.
to have great discussions that are positive and things like that. And this interview is about 13 minutes. Um, I think I asked him a question about the intersect between the Venn diagram of hip hop and rock, pop punk, our world's lyrics, and the misogyny in hip hop and vulgarity and things like that, and how he would kind of explain that or whatever to maybe some pop punk kids walking by that see him performing. And at this point in the interview, it's already kind of wonky, just not getting a lot of anything. And I think
Okay.
he that didn't like that very well, or not that he didn't like it, but I think it just maybe made the brain cells in his brain start crashing into each other and they just didn't work out well together. But like it was a nightmare. I got done and I spent like the entire Saturday trying to figure out what to do to fix this. I thought like there's some information in there. I asked about how he gets booked, and there's some stuff in there that kind of like bummed me out about Kevin Lyman that you guys will have to hear. So it's like I think it's important for this to be out. It's if a bad
I
interview,
agree.
good
Yeah.
interview. It's an interview. There's information in it. It is you know that's journalism. You know what I mean? That's what it is. That shit's gonna happen. I felt like Adam 22 from No Jumper. Like that's what I felt like. I'm like this is why I don't interview rappers. Showing up like an hour late to our interview kind of thing. Like I'm just dragging around. Then it gets there and it's 50. I told him I was like roughly about an hour, like I'd like an hour. Okay, all right, chief, yeah, this and that. I'm like, it's a fucking nightmare. So I was like considering, I'm like, it's a 15-minute thing. Everything else I've released is like an hour. Like, do we I texted my brother. My brother makes great music. And I was like, dude, I just interviewed this guy. Don't care much for his music. The interview sucked. Let me record a double episode, like two interviews and put them in one with you so I can promote your music and we can shoot the shit. But he was busy. There's a few other bands that we kind of have on the docket that I've been talking to. I thought about maybe scheduling a couple of them in for like a mini interview as well and just putting them all together is like, like when TV shows do like the three mini episodes in one. I thought about
Yes.
doing that, but I don't think that would be fair to any of the other bands because I don't want them to be connected to that interview. Like I don't want
No.
to put, whatever the band, I don't want to put them in a spot where they're following that and it's just that's the video going around and they're attached to that because that's like I'm literally just like, we'll put this out for public record so you guys can see it, but like I mean, I'm proud of the job. I think I did a good job. Like I did okay.
No,
You know
I
what I mean?
listened to the interview. Yeah, you asked all the questions that we would ask. We have asked other bands that have come on our show that you've seen other people ask. What's interesting is this person is going to be performing at Warped Tour, which is a very coveted thing for a lot of new bands, a lot of new artists to be able to get that slot. And I looked on his Spotify and I think it said like 411 monthly follower like
And
listeners.
it was literally like 65 when he was announced in January. It was 65, and like
Like,
my band hasn't existed for like 10 years almost, and like I got damn near 65 monthly listeners. Like that's like, how did you get this spot?
yeah,
And we talked
that's
about on there. Let me just say, like, I'm not stoked on you right now, Kevin Lyman. I'm not very
yeah,
stoked on you, brother.
it does sound like there's conversation to be had about how exactly he got that spot because there's other bands. I mean, we've had bands that are new but newer bands that have had great conversation with us who know music, and it says something when you're not giving those kinds of bands the platform to find an
Exactly.
audience, but you're
Yes.
giving someone else who can't even answer the question about misogyny in lyrics pertaining to a genre
Yeah,
that
and
he is.
your own lyrics. It's like I'm just like how like
Yes,
what and it's just like brother, you wrote this shit down on a piece of paper. I
like,
don't know why you
yeah,
did, but you
explain this to
did.
us.
Explain it.
Yes,
Like maybe I don't get it. I kind of get it in the sense like I like hip hop too. I don't think when it's bitches and hoes stuff, it always means something terrible. There's just terminology and stuff. Like I'm not necessarily totally comfortable with it, but I don't think that everyone listening to that is like you're not like doesn't make you a bad guy. Like, and if it doesn't explain why, it's maybe people that don't know. And
exactly,
it was
100%.
handled
Yeah,
poorly, and it just left a terrible taste in my mouth. And I'm still washing it
yeah.
down with this delicious Mountain Dew. They just released the new cans. If you're listening, you can't see this. I just got my hands this weekend on the new Mountain Dew cans. They're great. The flavor explosion in my mouth, the citrus, it's taking it to a whole new level, just the repackaging. So thankfully I had the
The
Mountain Dew this weekend.
repackaging.
The
Yeah.
repackaging, just yeah, there's something in the aluminum in these ones, just kind of gets my head buzzing. But thankfully I had something to get my goddamn mind off of the Jeremy Romance interview because that was a train wreck. That was bad.
Well, it's good
I'm
to know
excited
that
for all you
there's
guys to hear it on Friday.
I can't wait for everyone to hear this interview. Well, if nothing else, I hope that we can at least shed some light on what people can expect for Warp Tour because he's playing Orlando, right? Is he doing any of the other
Yeah.
ones?
No, he's just doing Orlando. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I know they have a lot of bands in Orlando, so people have a lot of things to choose from, but still, it's there still could have been someone else to have that slot.
There's bands now, these people that will drive across the country to stand outside of the fucking grounds that the event takes place at, handing out CDs or whatever the modern equivalent is, playing acoustic outside, handing out like doing their shit. There's these bands that grind and deserve that spot and are great. And like even bands we've like you said, bands we've had on this show, anyone from Winona Fighter to Definitely Maybe to Combat, like do all these artists want to play on the Warp Tour? Were they passed up? I don't know these things, but it's like, why are we not putting those bands here? Those bands who have been grinding, who have fan bases, who have had success and this and that. Like, why are we putting nepo baby bullshit on here as opposed to putting together, curating a lineup that will really make people happy? You know?
Yeah, and if it's truly nepo baby bullshit, maybe they need better PR people, or they need someone to class this guy on how to talk to people about his music because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
clearly doesn't know how to talk about it.
I've never experienced that before in my life, and I hope I
Yeah.
never do again.
Hopefully we never will. But I mean, I think we all have to go through that, right? We all have to experience one bad interview or one bad tale to tell.
Bad taste. Well, I got an email this morning from an artist. I don't remember I'm not going to say it if I did, but I got an email from like a publicist or whatever thing being like, "Hey, this artist is putting out this thing. They're now in the emo genre and this and that, but it was a rapper. Like they had a money sign in their name, and it was like the same kind of thing where it's just like Lil Peep was great. Like love Lil Peep, legends. Juice World,
Yep.
great. But it's
R.I.P.
same thing. Like Nirvana's great. There's a thousand, 100,000 terrible ripoffs, and with hip hop especially ripping it off is easier because you don't need to learn a damn instrument or anything. And there's beats you can buy for $20 and stuff like that. So there's the the barrier for entry is so low. And the same thing with like SoundCloud rappers, this and that. People give these things bad names because anyone can do this, and that is good. Music should be democratized. You should have the ability to do this. But just because you should doesn't mean, like, or you could doesn't mean you should, like it.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
And yeah, but I got that email today where they're just like, if you'd be interested, sharing it or doing some paid promotion or collaboration thing like this. And I was like, I can't even respond to this. I was like, I don't want anything to do with any fucking emo rappers for the next like 3 weeks.
You're like,
Like
not really. I
I'm,
need a break.
I'm off the trap shit. Yeah, we're off. We're off that right now. Yeah, we're off. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're taking a break right now.
yeah. Can we get some metalcore? Maybe we'll try that out for a little bit. Is there a
Yeah,
Sleep Token
yeah,
ripoff we could try out for a little bit? Like, where are those
yeah,
guys at?
yeah. We're the gimmicky metalcore bands. Give us give us the Ed Sheeran with breakdowns.
Please.
What are you doing? Yeah, give us
It's
an offering.
yes, that's all we need. I know. So that's interesting, but that's something that you guys can expect on Friday. But today's episode, because it is a holiday, we're going to be a little bit more lighthearted because obviously our last episode we did was definitely a deeper episode, talked a lot about the scene and the struggles that women face in the scenes. But today we're going to do something a little bit more lighthearted. I think Rob had posted some stuff on uh, TikTok while I was festivaling it up this weekend, asking for questions that you guys might want to learn answers from us. And so we thought we would answer some of those fun questions for you guys today on this episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time, a good Memorial Day time. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of Memorial Day time. I brought my wine out, and yeah, we
There
have a
we
bunch of
go.
questions. We might do like what, 5 or 6 of these, and kind of
Yes, because
see
some of these
what
might
we
turn
come
into
up with.
derailments. Some of these, yeah, are longer, open-ended questions. So yeah, we'll just see where the night takes us. Are you drinking wine out of a Stanley?
Okay, so
Mom move.
no, I'm drinking. That's water.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
sick. That's
Yep,
a
this is my
classic
water.
move.
This
Okay,
is my wine.
there we go.
It is a
Okay,
classic move. Yeah, I got my emo mom shirt, and I'm drinking wine out
right?
of
I was like,
a Walla
sick.
bottle.
Suburbanite. I love it.
I am a true suburbanite. All right, so for our first fan question, this is a fun question. I know you've probably seen it before, but it is about Cookout. So, Rob, what 5 people from the scene band members, etc., would you invite to your Memorial Day cookout or party?
Great
And
question.
why? Obviously,
Great,
why? Why would
great
you do that?
question. First, I'm gonna go with Fletcher Drag from the band Pennywise because he is a notorious
Okay.
party animal. He's massive. He's a good guy. He'd be good there for security, for bouncing as well. I feel like he'd also show up with a couple 30 racks and he might man the grill. And that's very important, like logistic stuff that I feel like we got to get out of the way.
Good
Number
deal.
one, yeah, I'm going with Fletcher from Pennywise. From there, it kind of gets a little tougher. You know what I mean? Like it kind of gets a little tougher. I think definitely. I think we both agree. Maybe I'd invite Patrick Stump because I think Patrick Stump is the kind of guy that would show up with like with some good sides or something. He might be a little sweeter, and there's good conversation there. Like I think that's a good solid element.
Yes.
You can't have five animals running the scene. You know what I mean? There needs to be some variety here as well.
Good point. Yes.
Our scene as well. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. You give me one of yours, then we'll go back. I'll go back and forth here because I'm kind of racking my brain
Okay.
on a couple of these.
Oh, well, first, obviously, Patrick Stump, because of his, while he's good in one-on-one situations for conversation, so I feel like he would be good at
Yeah,
finding
it's good,
someone and
right?
entertaining them. So, and he could talk about, he calls himself like the master of many different things, but like a master of none. So
Yes.
he can talk about many different subjects while not being maybe a master at all of those subjects. So he can talk about anything he wanted to. A second person that I think that I would invite to a cookout, because I think he'd be an all-around fun guy, would probably be Pierre from Simple Plan. I find him to be a very enjoyable guy. He's just a fun dude, and I think he would also be the first person to help like do the cookout, do the grill if he
Good
needed
French
to.
Canadian kids.
He
Yeah, I
could
feel like yeah,
provide entertainment. Yes, good old French Canadian kid. So I feel
yeah.
like Pierre would be a really good addition to the cookout. Just like he's a kind of a clown, so he could entertain the masses. Maybe not just an individual person, but like the masses as well. So yes, I would go with Pierre for sure.
Good pick. Good pick. For my third person, I'm gonna go with
Oof.
Thomas Matthew DeLong of the band Blink 182 and Angels and Airwaves and the Boxcar Racers. Because one, great fucking time, San Diego guy. Like, you know, like so we have some stuff to talk about. We could talk Padre baseball and the like. Plus, like my thing that's kind of hampering me here when I'm thinking of this stuff is like a lot of these. It's like I would invite them like in different eras, but a lot of these men are like clean, sober, and the like now. And it's like at my cookout, I want my cookout to get a little fucking out of hand. So it's like a lot of these guys are like sober
Yeah.
vegans now. Tell him put back some drinks with
Sure.
me. He might rock the grill. He'll have some fun. We'll have some skateboards. He'll fuck around on it. Get people caught up in a corner talking about aliens. Like that, it could go both ways. But Tom's a vibe. I think Tom is important to have at the cookout. I'll tell you one person I would not invite at the cookout, which you would think that I would invite. I wouldn't invite Davey Havoc. Would not invite Davey Havoc because vegan, of course, sober vegan, straight edge vegan.
Yes.
And I'd be nervous. I'd be like, you know, I'd have to like change myself and I'd be trying to impress him the whole time, kind of thing, you know? So like it would just throw off
Yeah,
my
that's
vibe
too
the whole
much.
time. Yeah. I need some one-on-one Davey time. Like I don't want to play the zone on that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I would also be intimidated by Patrick Stump, but I mean, at the end of the day,
But he's
I
got like it's
think
a
that I
personable
just
thing. I
talked
think
to
he'd
him.
be sweet about it, you know? Like he'd be nice.
Yeah, he'd be okay with me asking him all sorts of weird questions. Um, all right.
Coco
Who else
from
would
Winona
I?
Fighter. Coco's one of mine. I'm bringing Coco to the
Oh,
party.
Coco.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She's
Bring
at the fucking
Coco.
party.
Yes. That is a great person to bring to the party because she's just a good
Yes.
time.
Yeah, right. As I'm
Yes.
trying to think, I'm like, this party's kind of turned into like a middle-aged sausage party. Like there should be like some like yeah, feminine energy. It's like
I was
Coco could
thinking
get
the
down with the
same
dudes,
thing.
right? You're like,
Yeah, I was like, are there what? There's got to be some like some great females that we can invite to the party. I mean, Coco's definitely one of them. Shoot, I mean, she's not part of the scene, but I feel like she would elevate the party anyways, and that would be Taylor Swift just by bringing her.
yeah, Taylor would get the shit turned up. Yeah, that's a good call.
Actually, she would help us like make the theme, and like it
She
would
would,
be
yeah,
amazing and
yeah.
stellar if
She would go
she
above, and I feel
came.
like even if you invited her and she couldn't come, I feel like she might like send you like a card and stuff like that. Maybe like some like like an like something from like you know like Bloomingdale's or the Pottery Barn or something like that. Like I just really high level sweetheart from her. I get, yeah. So good call.
Yes.
I'm
Um,
inviting Fat Mike from NoFX for the same reasons I said before, where that's a man that is still a party animal. He can show up in his weird bondage outfit. He'll have, yeah, he'll get out of hand. It's yeah, my party is gonna get shut down by the cops here because I got Fletcher and Mike
yeah,
here, and Tom. So it very California based, yeah, rated R party. But I'm at four right there. Is that four?
I think so.
The Coco in there. Coco. Who you got?
Ooh, okay. Who else would I invite? Hmm. Can they bring their significant others?
Yeah, yeah. They're usually they're showing up with their families and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
You're trying to work.
All
You're
right.
working an angle here. You're getting a two for one.
So yeah. So it's no, it's not gonna be Adam Lazar. I would bring I would invite Jared from the Maine so that Jack Vanek, his wife, can come because she's really awesome and I would like to talk to her. So I would do that just so that I can talk to his wife.
Good
Maybe I'll just
angle.
invite his
Good
wife.
angle.
Screw it. Maybe I could just invite his wife and say maybe
Right?
not Jared. Just
Yeah,
invite
you don't
Jack.
even
I
have
just
to
want
use
her to
one. Yeah,
come.
you don't have to use one of the five spots on him. Even you can just be like, hey, just like you come to this
Yeah.
instant thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I've always wanted to talk to her because she's like obviously she's not in a band, but she's so big part of our scene, right?
What does she
So like
do? Oh, I feel
yeah.
like we've talked about her, right?
She was the one. So she used to like be big in like the Warped Tour. She was the one who sold the rubber like bracelets in Warped Tour by herself, like in the two
The booby
thousands.
bracelets.
I think no, they said like emo or something on them, and then like she made it into um a whole business. And I
Oh,
think she dated Ryan Ross too.
God. I
That,
might use my
she's
fifth
got a
spot.
lot. Like she's got
I'm using my last spot's being used on Ryan Ross.
what? Oh, just so why? So we get this reclusive guy to come to the.
Because I'm gonna fucking grill him. I'm gonna put Panic back together the way it should be. Okay, like I'm a doer. I'm a community organizer. I did one of those tests, the ENFTPJ things, and mine said community organizer. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna get Ryan Ross there. Bren Urie is fucking not invited to my cookout. Let me just make that clear. Like it's weird vibes.
yeah. No,
But
that's fine. I don't need him
Ryan
here.
Ross, we talk, we bond. I got like some, I have some Beatles records here that I know he would really enjoy. And I just kind of be like, like come on, think about it, And I think he would think about it. So
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's my pick. Fifth pick, Ryan Ross. You're the oddball at this party.
Ryan
You might get
Ross.
thrown in the pool by Fletcher from Pennywise.
Okay, who is my last pick? This is gonna be hard because clearly there are a lot of people that I would like to talk to and hang out with. I don't know because like on the one hand I'm like Jaime from Pierceville would be really awesome. He's a fun dude. I just feel like we'd have like he would just be a fun guy to have at a party. Um, but also was like Derek from State Champs. Also seems like he'd be a really chill dude to hang out with. I'm just I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jaime. I'm gonna go with Jaime because he's funny. He has good one-liners. He's really quick-witted and he goof off with like Tom probably. Maybe they
Right?
did
Yeah,
during
there's
the Blink tour. Who
Some
knows?
San Diego
But
boys. Get them together there. Yeah,
yeah,
good call. Good call.
yes. So
Very,
that's how
very,
I go
very
with
good
my
call.
last one.
My
Yeah,
my
I
friends
want
from
like
San
there's
Diego.
people I want to talk to, but yeah,
But I was saying my friends from San Diego, they did a record with Jaime. I'll send you some of the songs there. Like he produced all of it and stuff like that. Like those, yeah. I mean, those were the guys, and like they were the top of the. It was like Pierce the Veil were the kings of the
I
world. And
gotta
it's like
hear them.
you'd see, yeah. It was like everyone like. I mean, I didn't, but everyone kind of knew those guys, And like, yeah, my buddy sent me the record like a month ago, and I was like, who did this? He's like, oh, Jaime produced it. I'm like, oh shit, the same one? Like we talking about a different guy?
That's fantastic.
Shit, don't remember you really advertising that the way you should have when this came out.
Yeah, right. That's
Right?
crazy. That's probably what you should have led with.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. As we learned from Jeremy Romance, not every band is great at the media and marketing and,
No,
thoughts.
no, not thoughts. Yeah, but no, that'd
So,
be my pick. I mean, there's a lot of guys that I like would love to talk to, but I don't know if at a cookout would be the best place for it. Like
yeah.
dinner, one-on-one conversation, maybe. But yeah,
Yeah, because I'm just really thinking, yeah, because even like I'm usually like I'm very rarely like if I'm at a party, I'm very rarely getting caught talking to one person too much. I'm like you've heard the song by Crazy Town. I'm one of those. Like I'm a come my lady, come my lady. I'm a butterfly sugar
yep,
baby basically. I'm gonna be floating around and giggling. I'm gonna be dancing by myself and stuff like that. Like I don't really want to get caught up in too intellectual of a conversation. So I was really just trying to pick the guys that I think would kind of match my level of chaotic, you know? Because yeah, like intelligent conversation, like yeah, like I love like Justin Pierre, you know,
Yes,
from
I would agree.
Motion City, someone like that. Davey, like Davey, let me sit down with Davey and eat some vegan food or something. That'd be great. But I don't like. I think he'd throw off the vibe at my cookout. Because yeah, we're doing ice luge at the cookout. Like we got tiki torches, fucking pigs cooking up and stuff like that. Like couple coolers full. Like it's gonna be a little degenerate.
Who's paying for this cookout?
Or the people I invited all
It's on
make
the
good
rest.
money. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Well, that's true. Good point. Good point.
I
Yeah.
figured there's a buy-in. Yeah, I invited Tom DeLong. Yeah, like
Yeah, I invited Taylor Swift. Never mind.
yeah. You should. Yeah, we should be good on bankrolling. Yeah, we both selected some investors.
That's true. Very true. All right. So now that we picked our barbecue fans, our people we invite to a barbecue, what's the next one? Which one do you want to do next?
Next one. We're doing a worst show experience, right? That's what we're doing. Your worst experience at a show.
Worst experience at a show. Okay. This one's easy for me, probably because I think it's still, I mean, yes, worst experience at the show will always be um 2006 when we saw Pierce the Veil. Or not Pierce, I'm sorry, Panic the Disco. Pierce the Veil didn't exist yet.
We saw Panic in
Panic the
2006, so they were like
Disco,
40 shows into their career, kind of thing.
pretty much, yes. They were playing at a amphitheater, like an outdoor amphitheater on the river, um, and in Philadelphia. And me and my sister and some of her friends and my guy friend, we all went to go see them. And it was like one of their first like tours, right? And they're my sister's band, super excited. I was excited because obviously, you know, Fall Out Boy, Pete Wentz, all that stuff. Hush Sound opened for them, which was great. They were excellent, but I was not prepared for the crowd. Now I had been to like prior to this, I'd been to like Yellow Card, Red Jumpsuit, and Fall Out Boy concerts. And while there are young girls there, it's not like this felt like a lot of young girls who'd never been to a rock show before, like
Yes.
that were like not seated, right? It was like it was just like an amphitheater with no seating. There was no seating at all. It was just like all open.
And
It was just an open floor.
they didn't get how it works.
No. So what happened is it's a huge crowd, and then on the outer edges of it is all of the vendors and everything, like where you get your food, first aid, the bathrooms, all that stuff, and then just an open area, and then then the stage itself. Everyone seems fine, and we're like in the center, like towards the not in the front, but like in a good middle spot to see them. It was a really decent view. But then as soon as the lights get low, the crowd surges and it like surges forward. And I never like only other time that happened to me was at Riot Fest last year, and that was a bunch of drunk dudes with their shirts off for Sum 41, which I give them a pass because it's like Sum 41's like, we're going away, farewell, like,
Yeah.
they're ending their stuff. One of their last shows. But these girls surge forward with no care for anyone else. There are people falling on the ground, and these are young girls. And me and my guy friend are like trying to keep ourselves up, and we see a young girl fall down, and people are walking over her. So me and him go to grab her. We're like, get off of her. We need to pull her up out of the pit. And so at this point, we just had to get her out. Like we had to get her out of the pit because she was like clearly hurt. So we're pulling her back while everyone else is going forward as like Brendan starts singing, and they had like the drum beats and all the weird circus stuff because it was that circus tour
Oh,
thing that they were
yeah.
doing.
Ugh. Nothing rhymes
Yes,
with
you remember,
circus.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So they were doing all that stuff. So we pull her back. So obviously I'm no longer like we're way far back now with all the adults at this point. We take her to first aid, find out that she sprained her ankle, and we don't know where her parents are. This is before like kids her age they don't have cell phones. Like, because we only had
It's
like
2006. Yeah.
no iPhones. Yeah, iPhones don't
Like iPhone
exist.
wasn't a
I
thing.
had
Yeah.
the
No.
yeah, I had the Nokia, like a little Nokia
Yeah.
handheld. So we're walking around trying to find her parents with this girl who we don't know, who's 14, and we're like 20. I'm not even 21 yet. I'm only 20. And so we're walking around with this girl while they're playing, and I'm like, just like, this is miserable, and that crowd is insane. And I felt bad for her. It probably was her worst concert experience because she sprained her ankle.
Yeah. Yeah, she probably also had a bad time. Yes.
Hopefully she's had better ones. Yes, also had a bad time. And all I have to say is, so we didn't really get to watch the show because we were trying to take care of her for half of it and then find her parents or someone. Her sister, I think, was also still in the crowd and did come out with her. So we were taking care of her when her sister should have been. So it was just kind of like we did what we had to do because it was, someone had to take care of her. But at the same time, like, okay, this is like this next time I go to Panic Disco concert, there needs to be like some safeguards or like seats or something. And so and also after that concert, we all went back to the house that me and my roommates all lived in, and then we all got drunk, and then my guy friend who I had a crush on, who later turned out to be gay, threw up on me or threw up all over everything. And I spent all
Yeah.
night cleaning up afterwards. So also the after
Some men
concert
are really
experience also
disgusted by
not
women.
great.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah, bad
Yeah,
time.
I know. I can't help it. Yes. I was like, well, nothing's happening. And now I know why, because he's gay. But at the time, I was like, oh, man. But the next time we went to Panic at the Disco was like months later. It was after I was 21. And my sister invited all of her guys, friends who were in a frat together, and they made a wall around us so that we could
Oh, there we
watch the show
go.
in peace.
There we go.
Yes.
Frat
We
rap
also
bros
got,
for peace.
yeah, frat bros so that we could have peace at the concert because there was like all these, girls again in the pit. And they're all like, and the guys were like getting them out so we could enjoy the concert. And I also met the governor of Pennsylvania. He happened to be outside of the venue at that time. So that was a much better experience. But yes, that
Shit.
would be my worst concert
The
experience.
big
Followed
guy
by
with
my
the
guy,
John?
Ed Rendell. His name was Ed Rendell. He was people thought he was going to run for like president at some point. He was very popular, but never did.
Damn.
But he was a very popular Democrat at the time and that time period. So yes,
Yeah.
big supporter
Shit.
of
Well,
Hillary
it was
Clinton and
2006,
stuff. But
2007.
yeah,
Yeah, he had no fucking chance that year. But okay. Yeah.
no, 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 yeah, no, yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, because that was like it was Obama's time. Yeah, so
Yeah.
but he was popular for a Democrat, but yeah, no, that would be my worst thing. Yeah, that was definitely the worst experience
That's
for
a bad
me. Everything
time.
else has
That's a
been
bad time.
decent. Yeah, yeah.
I'll give you two. I'll give you my worst experience as a show, as a, show stuff as a fan, and then my worst show experience like as a person, like playing a show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In the early 2010s, I dated this woman for a while, for a long time, and she had this thing. We would go to shows. We go to festivals. Always having she'd pass out at every festival. We're at Coachella 2010, and we're in the line to get the wristbands. This is before they mail them, and we're like crammed in here like sardines. It's like a slaughterhouse thing. We're just pressed in. It's like 90 some degrees. I have my brother with me. My brother is like two and a half my size. Like Brian is massive, and we're just standing there in this thing, and out of nowhere, just like Katrina, just like dropped, like in the middle of this thing. It was I just felt like heat
Oh
stroke,
my
like
god.
dehydration thing. It was so gnarly. And like I look at Brian, I'm like, why didn't you catch her? And he's like, I don't fucking know. It's like it's crammed in there. We're like, they're like, we're gonna send an ambulance. We're sending an ambulance. We waited for like 45 minutes and we finally get through the thing. And then like 20 minutes later, you can hear like an ambulance over there. We're like, yeah, lucky it wasn't anything serious. Like could have died. Very, yeah. And
Yeah.
then like the next year it happened again. It happened 2 years in a row, like at the Warp Tour. Like I had like we had like backstage, we're like in the back area, this or that. I'm all excited because we're gonna go to like the cookout later, and we're watching a band that's canceled now perform, and like same thing happened where she just like we're like standing by a tree, she just like tumbles into the tree kind of thing, and just like what is going on? Okay, like we need to keep you in air conditioning, dog. Like I
Is
don't know
she
how to explain this.
hypoglycemic? Like, does she need like
I don't
sugar? Like,
know.
why does she
I don't
keep
know.
fainting?
Katrina, if you're watching this, can you answer some questions for us? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
so
know. Great. Yeah.
curious.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was weird. Yeah, and it was a bad time because like selfishly, I'm sure at the time I'd be like, oh, you're like, like now we can't do this thing anymore. But like also like, holy shit, this is like I am not the person to be in an emergency situation of any sorts. Like I don't have any decorum or chill. Like I'm just gonna like can someone want to help? Like not a good situation for me. My
Yeah.
worst experience performing a show or anything involving that. This is a fun story that we'll do like a little mini. We'll do like a lore dump here. So my first acoustic show with my
Okay.
band, the Wilding Hearts, like we had just my friend Amanda had a birthday party and we drove down to San Diego to play the birthday party. And I had just moved to LA. And we played a couple songs. Like this was like 6 months before we ever played a show. like I just moved up there and she knew that we were out of band and she invited me to like be cool. And on the way back, I was driving in my 1990 Honda Civic and I was switching songs
Mm-hmm.
between, I was listening to the, seminal NSYNC record, No Strings Attached. And I was with my buddy Justin and I switched from Bye 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 to It's Gonna Be Me and I swerved a little and I got pulled over. And they walk and like I hadn't been drinking at all or anything like that. I don't drink, but like my car may or may not have. I don't like. I do like a lot of landscaping stuff. You know what I mean? So my car might have smelled like like grass. Really, I don't. And this is 2012, so before this is very widely like legal and stuff like that. And I pull over by the Commerce Outlet Mall in LA. Anyone from Southern California, you'll know this whole area is a nightmare. And like they're walking up on me fast with the car and they open the window and I'm nervous, like, and the car smells and like I was fine, like I was sober, but like the car stinks and there's stuff in the car that could probably get me in trouble. And they pulled me out of the car like nicely. And like I'm trying to sweet talk my way out of this because I've been like pulled over or stopped by cost for. I'm always able to kind of talk my way out of it. But I see the male cop, there's two, there's a male cop and a lady cop. The male cop has his arm shaved. And I'm like, this is not good. That means I'm not going to be cool with him. This is an insecure man. Like his arms, it was weird. Like fellas, like you're shaving. What are we doing shaving our arms? I don't know. But I could tell they had a gleam to them.
Yeah.
And my dumb ass, like I'm thinking, like, okay, that's not going to work. I'm going to be nice to the lady cop, and I'm being like, is there a Mister Officer Rodriguez? And it's like did not go well. And they do these tests on me, like a sobriety test, and they do the one where they like do the thing close to your eye or something like a pen. I didn't know what I was doing, and like I was fine, but like I didn't do it right. So they took me in, and Justin leaves with my car, and they take me to like the police station. I'm just thinking like, oh, this is like I've heard about this. Like, I'm gonna go. It's like a drunk tank thing. I'm here for like a couple hours, then they leave, and then I get in the car with them again after they're at the station doing paperwork, and they took me to the L.A. Twin Towers, like the county jail, which is like the worst jail in America, maybe. Like,
Oh
it's
my
fucking
gosh.
terrible. And I'm there in my skinny jeans and my red Toms, like wearing the same thing I wear now. I'm wearing skinny jeans, the V-neck, and red Toms. And like we show up there and they're like, hey, just so you know, like, we've been super cool, like we're all super cool, but like in here, like they're not gonna be cool with you like that. So like shut up and just do what they say. And I have no idea what's going on. Because in my head, it's like I didn't do anything. Am I getting like a DUI from this or something because they smelled weed or something like that? Like it didn't make sense. But I'm freaked out because I don't know what's going on. Like I feel like I should be going home right now. Like I don't know. And they bring me there and the guards there the whole time are like, like they're like out like, are you gay? Are you bi? I'm like, they're like, well then why do you dress like one? Things like they're trying to like instigate me to fight them and stuff, and I'm just scared
What the
kind of thing.
hell?
Yeah, and there's like three times where like different guards, like every time, because in California they separate like the LGBT community in the jail. Like they're all separated. It's
Oh.
wild. So they moved me up to this upstairs area, and I'm very scared. I'm
Okay.
very scared because I had all I know about jail stuff is like you gotta like it's like race war in there, I heard. And so I'm all scared because like, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm like Twinkie little white, like I'm like, and I don't know how long I'm going to be here still. I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't even be here on some like clerks shit. It's like, I shouldn't even be here. Like I'm fine. And they bring me upstairs, like in this area where it's like there are all these people to be released. And let me just say, I almost joined a gang. This fella
Uh-huh.
was like, like you're super cool, bro. Like that's the thing is like it's racially divided, but I kind of found myself siding with the African American community inside there because they found me charming because of the Justin Bieber hair. They thought that I had like a Rolodex of white women I could
You are
introduce them to,
charming.
which they just thought they're like, yo, Bieber over there, like he's got the white. I'm like, I don't know any white women like this. Like I am not. Please, I'm not the director of this. Like don't But one guy in there, he's like, when we get out of here, I'm gonna take you to Target. I'm gonna get you a whole new outfit. We just gotta put on for a minute when we leave here. I'm like, what is put on? Put on. What does that mean? He's like, we're just gonna fight for like 60 seconds. I'm like, brother, that doesn't sound like a good time. Doesn't sound like a good time. Thankfully, he got out, and I met some new fellas who basically invited me to join their gang too. This guy Spider, shout out Spider if you're listening to this randomly. Very nice guys. And finally, I get to go out of here, and I'm just having a great time. Like they're talking about like playing dice, like they're telling me how dice works and stuff like that. I'm like, this is a vibe. I go to get out, and like same thing. Like before I get released, like the guards ask me again. They call me the F slur and stuff like that, which I understand. They're trying to get me to like hit them or something, and then they could beat me up and keep me there. But it's like, brother, I'm not gonna play that game. Like I don't care. Like y'all can say whatever you want. And I get out, and as I get out, my buddy Justin that I was with from my band had been doing circles for like, 'cause it was about 15 hours in total I was gone. He'd been circling this place thinking I'm, getting
My
turned
God.
out or getting, something terrible. And he sees me exchanging numbers with Spider and like, doing our handshake stuff. He's just like, what the fuck happened in there? I'm like, brother, the inside changed me, And why this is like, so I get
You
home.
might be part of a gay.
I think I kind of maybe low key joined the gang there. But this is when I get out, I go home and tie it in a future guest on our show who you guys know, Ben Mench-Thurlow. He's the booking agent for Hawthorne Heights and a bunch of other bands, Horse the Band, bunch of bands in our scene. Awesome guy. Ben comes over. Ben's my next door neighbor, and Ben comes over, and I'm like, I've been home for like an hour. I'm just like still like shaking. It's like you know what I mean, like what just happened, you know what I mean? Like just full disclosure, I got a letter in the mail like a week or two later that was basically like we screwed everything up. You shouldn't have been arrested. Like you're good. You have no court date. So I basically just had to like have one really weird day, but like I didn't get in any trouble at all. Like I didn't do anything wrong really, like I was fine. But
Well,
Ben
it's
comes
good.
over and Ben's
Yeah.
like, "You want to go to Fat Burger?" And I'm like, "Brother, I just got out the clink, dog, out of jail, out on bail, California screaming thing, and he's like, I'll take you, I'll buy you Fat Burger. And Ben took me to Fat Burger and he bought me Fat Burger. And I still remember it to this day. It's like one of the nicest things anyone has ever done for me. And I saw Ben about like a month ago at the Horse the Band show, and I brought this up to him. I was telling the story like all his friends, and he's like, dude, I don't even remember that. I was like, I know, like it's like a small thing to you, but it's like that literally was just like this greatest gesture. Like bro, they give you two pieces of bread with like a like the packets you get of like the jelly at like McDonald's, like weird packaged jelly stuff. They give you that. It was like
Yep.
apple jelly for your peanut butter and jam. Why would I put apple jelly on a peanut butter? It doesn't. It's a terrible place. Yeah, jail 0 out of 5
Doesn't
stars.
compute.
Yeah, yeah. But Ben hooked it up. Ben saved me with some Fat Burger, and to this day, it's the best Fat Burger I ever had. But that whole experience, that's the worst any sort of show experience in my life. Like I didn't play shows in San Diego for a while because it's like I don't want to do that drive at night.
Yeah, right? That's terrible.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
gosh. Okay, so remind me never get pulled over in San Diego, apparently,
Orange County. No,
because
this is like the edge of LA. Like we were in LA by this point. But like, see, the thing is,
okay, so
yeah,
LA, so
but it
don't
was it
get
was
pulled over.
highway patrol. Little general advice for anyone listening in California: you don't want to be anywhere where there's highway patrol or sheriffs. If you are in LA, you want to be in LAPD jurisdiction because the LAPD have actual stuff to do. They don't need to be pulling people over for no reason. Whereas like if you're in West Hollywood or some of these communities where they have their Burbank, where they have their own police, small town, they're bored. I mean, don't be doing anything against the rules anyways when you're driving. I'm just saying if you are, like, don't put yourself in a bad situation. Next question. Which
Uh,
one do we got?
you want to do pet peeves about the scene?
Yeah, let's do pet peeves about the scene. Let's go
Pet
in.
peeves?
Let's
Let's do
let's
pet
do
peeves
some
about the
pet
scene.
let's
That
do
was a
some
good
fucking
question.
pet peeves. Yeah, let's do some pet peeves. Becca, thanks for
Yes.
the question.
Let's talk about things that piss us off.
Yeah, what
Yes,
grinds
thank you,
my
Becca.
gears?
As always. And it was
Not
fun
many
barricading
things.
with you, Becca. Yes.
You guys were barricaded up. Very, yeah.
Well,
It's a dedicated day. Don't
oh
think I
yeah.
could do it.
Yeah, me and Becca hung out a lot this weekend. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
How
I
does
didn't pee for pretty good
I was
like
gonna say, how does
8
the pee
hours.
stuff work? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. That's dedication. That's love. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Pet peeves in the scene. A lot
Yes.
of
Yes.
my
Yep.
biggest pet peeve in general is legitimate, not even gatekeeping, because like there's some gatekeepers that I like our friend Scott's Records. Like I see that like that's not a gatekeeper. That's like an expert that like respects like the sanctity of like certain things and the and like the terminology and just
Yes.
that's the thing. But I mean, like the legitimate things, like I'm happy this band's not bigger because now I can still afford to go to the shows and stuff like that. Like you're not really supporting these people if you're wishing,
Yeah.
like the opposite of success is failure, right? You're kind of wishing failure on them in a way. Like seems like weird behavior for something you like.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like gatekeeping either because people come across like you can't, if you're a new person who just learns about a band, right? And it's like, oh, but I've known about this band forever, and you can't ever become a bigger fan than me because I've known about them longer or I've been with them for X amount of time, and you only got to know them for the last year. So you can never be as big of a
Yeah.
fan as I am. I just don't see the value in thinking that way because we all have different entry points into different bands and different things in general. So, like, you know, one time there could be a time in your life where you might be a new person to something else. And
Yeah.
for and how would you feel if someone was telling you you can't do it or can't like it as much as they do because you haven't liked it or known about it as long? So yeah, for me, gatekeeping is just not a cool thing to do, man.
It's a weird
Not
like
cool at all.
insecurity thing like that. Like
Yeah.
it's magical feeling when you find a band like way later. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. Y'all been on this band forever. That's great for you. I
Yeah.
wasn't. It takes sometimes takes, like you find something before someone else that doesn't actually make you cooler than them. Like it's like, I thought the same thing when I was 13, 14. But like you gotta get over yourself. Like I just found Origami Angel like 2 months ago and it's like this is awesome. Like I get like a whole new band now. And like it's like when you discover a show that's already had like 5 seasons, like I get to binge this shit. I don't gotta sit around and wait for each episode. Like I have a whole thing to dive into as opposed to finding a
Yes.
band that only has one album that I'm sitting around for 2 years. Like cool. Like I just got 4 new records. Like I get to listen to this.
So funny story. That's how I am with Pierce the Veil.
Oh, you're late.
Did not know I like yeah, like the 2010s. I wasn't really listening to a lot of the music in the scene. I was, married and trying to be like a normal adult that you should be, and listening to like whatever normal people listen to
You're listening to Maren Morris, the
and
middle.
all that stuff. Yes, no, no, I was not listening to Mary Morris, but I was listening to a lot of country because I was living in Arkansas all the time, and all my friends were listening to country, or the friends I made in Arkansas.
Yes.
But I was still listening to a lot of like my pop and Fall Out Boy and stuff. But yeah, so I didn't discover them until I think it was the winter of 2023. They came out with Jaws of Life, and Even If I'm Not With You was one of their singles. And I really like that song. I was like kind of browsing like on the release radar on Spotify. And I was like, oh, I like this song. And I've heard of the band, but I never listened to them. And then flash forward to October 2023, and I saw them for the first time live at When We're
With Blink?
Young. And that changed my like freaking life.
That is so cool.
No,
That
no.
is
Well, Blink was there. Yeah.
yeah, well that's so because it's like
Yeah.
here, I mean, we talked about before previously, like Pierce the Veil is like one of those bands that's actually like going upward. And it's things like that where it's like I think the way they've
Yes.
changed their sound and things like that, they've grown up well. Like it's like I like, and I can go back and listen to like Chemical Kids, Mechanical Bride stuff. Like I didn't love it then, but I listen to it now. I'm like, this is great. They're very clearly talented. I hear like coming from San
Mm-hmm.
Diego, like I hear like this is like these are some these are some Mexicans. Like those are Mexican boys. Like there's no other way to put it. Like the Latin flavor in there, it's things like that. They really like they were very unique. Wasn't I like bubblegum shit. Like yeah, that Jaws of Life record. Like I remember when Past Nirvana came out, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like this is like a dirty rock band, you know what I mean? So like it's a cool thing. There's people like you're not hearing Pierce Phil until 2023. Like that's awesome. And then you have like 4 records to go back and listen to, 5, like however many they have. I don't like this is some elitist ignorant bullshit. I don't like the word concert for
Okay.
most mid-level
Please.
bands. I don't like it's a show. It's not like a concert is like okay,
Okay.
Fall Out Boy show, maybe that might be at a concert, okay? You're getting this whole presentation thing. There's this not
Blank
if
is
you're
a
going to
concert.
watch 4 dudes get on stage and rip through their shit, you know what I mean? Like you're going to a show, concert, like it sounds like like I'm that is like a major Scots record thing of me probably right there to say that, but like that's like
No,
it
I
doesn't
I
actually
can see
bother me
that.
really, but like you know what I mean? It's something where it's like that doesn't sit right with me. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel right.
No, that makes
I
sense
don't
because when you think of a
love that.
concert, like I think of live music in the classical sense, where you have a big production
Yes.
of all these instruments and it's all grand and it's like a level of
Yes.
elevation to it. And that is what I would experience like a large scale concert. Like if it's going to be in like a MSG, or if it's going to be like, and they're going to have
Yeah.
Travis Barker raised off the stage, fire going around him. That is a spectacle. That is a concert. That is not just
Yeah.
a show. But
That's
like
fair. Yes.
if it's just, JT from Hawthorne Heights, going on and on 5
Yes.
minutes between songs, that's just a
You got a show.
show.
You're at a show. Yes, that's a very
Yes.
specific thing.
It's an interesting pet
Obviously,
peeve.
obviously the like reclassifying of genres and stuff is a little weird to me. Like that's something that really like I don't love a lot of the terms. I don't love the elder emo term. I don't love like from like the last 5 years or so, like the TikTokification, and like the irony in me saying this is like of like pop punk and emo growing like on social media, which is like that's one of the reasons I started making stuff in our scene because it's like there'd be all these bands reclassified. They'd be like, oh, Blink 182 is an emo band, Weezer's an emo band, All Time Low is an emo band, Linkin Park, and it's just like this is inaccurate, and you are exposed like the people doing it, like, and it's not
Yeah.
in our world, right? But like the people doing it, like you're literally appropriating my culture. This is the shit we got bullied for. This is the shit
Yep.
that I had people throw meatball subs at me off of, from the second floor of the high school down to the cafeteria because I have like like hair a certain way. Like you are appropriating our culture. You weren't there. You know what I mean? Like when you throw
Yep.
Avril in those
100%.
lists and things like that. I love Avril, but it's like if you really think that was part of this at the time, you were not there. And there's not a problem if you weren't there. Like I wasn't fucking, in any of the world wars. I still acknowledge they happen. I'm not denying certain parts of it. You guys sound fucking crazy with that. And that's very, now that I'm thinking about pet peeves, I'm realizing maybe I have some. I just don't really like
You do
let them
have some
get to
pet
me
peeves.
usually. Yeah. 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 In this scene.
Yes. I'm trying to think of pet peeves
I
I have in
don't
the scene.
I hate when bands do the same fucking jokes in certain cities. Like from San Diego. You guys, if you're in a band, you're going through San Diego, I need you to get some new material. Anchorman came out like 22 years ago. That shit's not funny anymore, okay? We've heard the whale's vagina joke. Every band that's ever came to town has made that joke. Give us something
At
new,
least
you know
since
what I mean? Or
2004. Yeah.
yeah, like every band, like it's just little things like that. Like I wish, and like this is a very. I also realize like okay, well not everyone's like a stand up comic or like a public speaker, but just like I'd rather you either just shut up and just like kick me in the face with your music than like throw in like B level banter.
Yeah, just keep playing the music and don't. If you're not good at like talking in between sets, don't worry about it. That's the other thing. Well,
Just
what
don't
they
do it.
yeah, I do not like when bands. I don't like it. I think it's outdated, but it's the idea of the encore.
Oh, there we go.
I
There
think
we go.
it's a waste of time. You could add a like the time it takes them to leave the stage to let everyone scream and make a big deal, and then they come back out and get themselves ready again. You could have played probably a whole other song in that time. Like
Yes.
we all know it's going to happen, and the mystique is gone. So just
That's the
keep
thing
playing.
too. Like in theory, I really like it because there's like a psychological thing at play here where it's being
Sure.
taken from you and then you're getting it again and it kind of like gives they've been up there for hours or an hour and a half, something gives them a chance to like go pee or something like that or wipe some sweat off. Like in theory I really like it, and it builds this, it's like a good flow of a show, but it's 1000% expected. It's just what happens now. It's going to exist, it's there, and then in the audience, since
Yeah.
it isn't there, you leave people with a bad taste in their mouth, and
Well,
and that
unless you
sucks overall unless you
well,
make it
and
clear. Yeah,
so
let's you make it clear.
yeah, because so that's what I like about Fall Out Boy is that they don't do that. But they build in. They are very strategic in that they build in breaks in their set.
Yes.
For especially like for the other guys, like for Patrick to like do certain things, and the other guys get a break, and vice versa. Um, but they do like after like when they get to the end, this peak goes. Usually, there's the part where we leave and come back, and we're just gonna play a couple more songs for you guys. But that's cool, and everyone's like, "Ah, that's amazing!" Like he just like let's skip all that and let's just keep playing the songs, and I love that.
Yes.
And they've been doing that for oh my gosh, I don't even know how long. At least I think at least since they came back from hiatus. I think. Yeah, they've been doing that, but yeah, I mean,
I like that.
once they started doing it, I was like, I like that, and I wish more people would do that. Now, I don't think I was trying to think of other bands, like, 'cause I don't think Pierce the Veil does it either. I don't think they do encore, like when they leave and come out. I'm trying to remember when I saw them in Reading if they did that. I don't remember, but anyways, yeah, that's one of my like little pet peeves because I'm like, I know it's expected. I know it like revs the crowd up. At the same time, it's like we've already been screaming for 2 hours straight, guys. Just keep giving it to us and let us go.
Yeah, just
Maybe
yeah,
that's my
this and it's
old
like
woman in me.
No, like, and it's just, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And it's just, the thing
Yeah.
is too, is it's just like so clearly like part of the act now. It's like, why am I gonna, I don't have like urge to chant one more song because I know you're coming back. Like, I'm like, if I'm not playing
Yes.
along, like, it's just, if it happens spontaneously, that would be so cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see a real encore, not this bullshit pre-planned pro wrestling one. Like, give me a real one where it's like, no, like, we are not leaving till they come back. Like, it happened in real
Yeah.
life like that. Like, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like you knew that was their last song, and then you were like, I want more, and they're like, okay, fine. We'll do some random song you guys never haven't heard me sing live before or something. I don't know.
Right? Yeah,
And that
yeah,
would be
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Like, we already emptied the clip, bro. Like, the set's done. Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Especially, yeah, for, yeah, certain bands. Like, brother, you've already heard all the songs you want to hear. Like, shit, we don't have anything else ready.
Exactly. I was trying to think what I think. Well, I don't know if we've talked about the etiquette in concerts and shows a lot, but I
This is,
know that a pet peeve. Go
yeah,
ahead.
keep going, keep going. I'm just thinking
No, I was
about it and
saying
getting irritated. Yeah.
no. Like there's like, I mean, especially since like the pandemic and stuff. I know that the etiquette with concerts has really gone downhill. I can say it
Fucking
about a lot of
kids.
things, like in theaters, like if you go to a movie, etc. But like in shows, I feel like the etiquette is different and not great in terms of like, if you're in a mosh pit, like it's not everyone out for themselves. It's like we're all in it together and it's a community thing. Help each other out. Like if you see someone crowd surfing, don't be like, I'm gonna let them fall. No, like help them.
Yes,
Like don't
you're
be a
part of
jerk.
this thing. Yes.
Like, I mean, be respectful of the people around you. Like understand
Is
that
this a generational thing or just a collapse in society?
I want to say I would like to say it's a generational thing, but a part of me thinks it's also a collapse in like as we become more of like it's all about me and it's about my experience at the show and no one else's, or my experience in general, because our culture in general has gone to a very much like it's all about what I need and what I want and my experience. That's how customer service has gone. By the way, that's how like everything's been tailored to be like, what is my experience going to be like? Not what the overall group experience is like, but what my experience is going to be like. How can we make it your way? And it's become so much like that that I think that it doesn't matter what age you are, because I've seen it in younger kids, but I've also seen it in older people too, who are just like
Gross.
super just inconsiderate in terms of like just concert going experience in general. And yeah, there was just a lot of bad etiquette going on, and among that, people who just think they deserve barricade every fucking single time and will do anything they can to get it, including sabotaging other people in order to get it. Those people piss me off to no fucking end, because they probably have been to, I can't even tell you how many shows
It's
of a
always the weirdos
particular
like that.
artist.
Yeah.
They've been just so they could be on they could show up in every like
So they show up in the fucking
social
pictures.
media
Yeah.
post, picture, but they will sabotage you. They will purposely have someone in front of you who fumbles the bags through security so that their other people can get a head start, or some bull crap like that. I only say this from my experience that happened this weekend. This is why I'm very tender about
When
this
I
right now.
was no, when I was
Like,
at the Blink show in February, there was this guy there, and like the people I was with recognized him. And it's this dork, and he's wearing like custom pajamas or something like that. Has a big, and they're like, hey, he's been in everything. Like he like went like, and it's just like he sucks. We don't like this guy. And I remember just like getting this vibe off him, and like we're waiting in there, and I'm like, I might literally sabotage my place in this shit just to make sure that this guy doesn't get in front of everyone else here. Like I might ruin
yeah,
my night just to like just because it was like like just everyone around was just like this fucking guy. Like, I don't know if you're a Blink fan, you know what I'm talking about. My friend Andy was there, and she pointed out to me, and it's just like him and his girl, like they're wearing like these matching outfits, and they wore them to like every one. And I'm like, brother, you followed the tour and you're wearing the same outfit. Do some fucking laundry. Like this, it's not. There's this like people think they're, with the exception of like fucking professional wrestling and like an improv theater, there's no performance where you, the audience, are actually part of the show. Like, we say
no,
these things when people are performing, they tell you, like, and yes, if it weren't you, it would just be them and there would be no one in the crowd, would there even be a show? But like, it is not like a back and forth. You are not a character in the show. Like you're dressing up a certain way. Like you think like you are a part of this show. Like are you a draw here? Like you think people are coming to see you as opposed to the band? It's just like you are like, and again, it sounds crazy coming from me, but it's like maniacal, egotistical, like vain behavior. And like I live in LA. I know a thing or two about vain behavior. It's a SoCal thing, but like that shit in general is just like
Yeah.
why are we doing that? You know what I mean? Or like just
Well, especially when you're someone who's probably been to like over 50, 60, 100 of the shows, and you're always getting that spot,
and
and there's other people who
you're
want the
doing
spot.
that. There's other people want the show,
And
and
you
you're doing it
don't,
for Blink 182.
yeah.
Blink 182's played the same show for fucking 15 years, basically. You've there's nothing you like. You don't need to be there in the front every time. You at that point, you're literally just taking space from people.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. And if you're not trying to help other people who've never like been in that space get to that space, then all you're doing is out for yourself. Like I have not done
Yeah.
barricade many times before. My first time ever was it when we were young. And it is addictive, but it is hard because there are people in like a fan in the fandom who have done it every time and they've been to way more shows than me. Like I
Not
don't know
cool.
how they afford it, but they've been way more shows than me. And but when I go, I try to get other people that have not been there before who want to,
Yeah,
like they
you guys
come
said
with
you like
me.
brought like you
Like
brought a little girl up and stuff like.
like
Come
Becca,
on,
that was her first
it's
time at
awesome.
Barricade. Yeah, Becca's first time at
Yeah,
Barricade. What my other friend Tara was her first time at
just
Barricade
stoked.
because I'm
Very
like, I'm
special
gonna
for
bring
her.
you guys up there because I have friends who the friends I usually go with don't like to barricade. They don't want to sit there, and I get it. And I don't want to barricade every time either because sometimes I just want to kind of explore the area, and I don't feel like sitting there all the time. It just but
Yeah, you're putting in
it
like a full
irks.
work
Yeah.
shift. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you are. But it irks me when there are people who do it like who and they like push or they're rude and mean about it and one time knocked someone out, like stomped on someone's foot. Like again, it's just like that's a pet peeve of mine. Like that's like you guys don't like that does not make you a better fan than anyone else because you go through all those lengths to always make it to the front of the stage. Like
I think
just the
in
way they are.
general, in our, especially in our scene, but in a lot of things in general, like when things I see stuff like that, I attribute a lot of that to these people doing that were never cool in their life.
Yes.
They were dorks and they were bullied and they had no power growing up and things like that. And then they find themselves in situations because of the internet or because of these like where they all of a sudden kind of think they do and they like they it's like they're really swinging the other way. It's the same thing with like when like the with the cancel stuff like a lot of these guys, yeah,
Yeah.
tons of accountability, there's tons of terrible, but at some point it's like there's a chunk of people here that are just like excited to be able to tear someone down because they were torn down
Yes.
and they're hurt themselves. Like that's what a lot of it, whether or not it's good, like for example that like okay, good came from that, yes, like these things should be said, but like a lot of the piling on is just loser behavior or something. Like it's just we're just it's a psychological thing. Like who hurts you? You're acting out. You know what I mean? And like things like
Yes.
that. Like
Yes.
you think you have some important role in the fandom. Like at the end of the day, like we're all just consumers of these things. Like you are not part of this entity kind of thing. You know, like it's a weird
Yes.
behavior. And then they get like a little. It's like crossing. It's like hallway monitor behavior kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
I I,
They're
I don't like
like
it.
the prefects of Harry Potter
Yes,
Hogwarts.
yes, there you go.
They
It's
have
just and it's
they
just like you were dorks, you're like, and it's like now you got a little, you're being cops. It's just like now you got a gun and a badge. Like, cool, brother, you know. Like, yeah, I don't like that, especially with like a lot of the bands in our scene. Like, there's just there's a lot of those. So,
but
next question here on the docket, which is very important to me. What do you consider to be the best music movies, best soundtracks in general, best, yeah, best mix of both worlds?
best soundtrack or best
Both,
music movies.
both. You know, but best music movie
Okay.
in general.
Okay, so one of my favorite music movies that I consider the best is Josie and the Pussycat Dolls because I
Great
think
film.
the songs are fire
Oh
and
yeah,
um
Doctor
fun
Lover, fucking
lore,
heater.
right? And fun lore, Babyface produced all those and that's the reason why Fall Out Boy asked him to do Thanks for the Memories
Because
and stuff on
he did the Josie
Josie
songs.
the
Wow.
yes, yep, yep. Pete said that him and Patrick had seen the movie, and they're like, we like these. He's like, it sounded like rock music that wasn't written by someone who understands traditional rock music,
Yes.
rules. And so they found out who it was, and they asked if Babyface would produce their stuff on A Thing on High, and then yeah, that's how we got a couple songs
That's how
from
we got
him.
on
So
Like a Lawyer. My favorite, one of
yep,
my favorite Fall Out Boy songs in the whole
yeah, you
world
can thank Josie and
is
Pussycat Dolls. So right there, best music movie
wow.
ever because without it, we
I,
wouldn't
I
have Infinity on
I
High.
never saw Josie and the Pussycat Dolls till like 2018. I never seen it in my life before. I
Oh
remember when it was
wow,
popular. I knew like the song. I mean, I literally have a dog named Josie. Like, never seen it.
yeah,
And then I watched it, and I remember just being like, this movie is actually like really, really good in ways I did not
smart.
expect. I was expecting some like shitty, like, preteeny bopper, haha thing, terribly dated, but like the like commercialism and stuff like that, like the social commentary on it is, I just remember being like, this is actually a legitimate great movie that is making me think. I
Yes,
did not expect that from Josie and the Pussycats. Shout out Rachel Lee Cook. Shout
yep,
out
Rachel Lee
Tara
Cook.
Reid. I don't
Yes,
know who the
and
third one is.
oh, that what's her name? Rosario Dawson. Yeah,
It's Rosario
later just
Dawson. Oh,
shows
my
up.
bad. Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson.
My
Yeah,
bad.
like big
It's a
old
pretty stacked band right there. Yeah.
Ahsoka man. Yeah, I
Damn.
mean, and
Okay.
then of course, Parker Posey, who's
Yeah.
whose
We love Parker
sound is
Posey.
blowing up on TikTok from White Lotus, and then of course Alan Cummings, who played their manager, it's fantastic. And then Carson Daly makes his appearance on it, which is because him and Terry were dating at the time.
As I say, he's with
That's
Tara.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great movie. It was, I mean, obviously for its time, it was perfect. The music was excellent, and it was
Oh
a
yeah.
great commentary on
Du jour rips, by the way. Du jour, rest in peace,
yes,
those guy like
those yeah recipes.
yeah, a little too timely. But yeah, great movie. I had no idea it was that good.
Yeah, I know, right? But and of course, it's great because it helped us land Thanks for the Memories, and I'm like a lawyer, so without it, would we have had those, you
Right?
know, those two hits from Fall Out Boy? I say not. It's the ripple effect, the butterfly effect,
Was
whatever. I don't know.
was it you that pointed out to me? Like I feel like I just learned very recently. I'm gonna say I learned it today when I post it, but like I didn't realize Thanks for the Memories is called that because the label asked them to shorten the song titles.
Yes,
So
so
they
they
took
were
the
getting
vowels out.
Yep, they took the vows.
Sick move. I
Yes,
love that. Love
I
that.
know they're fantastic. Yes, they always. Every time someone tells them to do something, they're like, "All right, that's why I'm like a lawyer, or not. I'm like lawyer. Our lawyers they changed the name of the song. That's why
Yeah.
they made it that way."
Shout out David Ruffin.
Yes, shout out Data Ruffin
Shout
and
out
your
David Ruffin.
Temptations.
Yeah. My
What
best
about
music
you?
movie. Best. So first off, let me just a couple soundtracks. Grind. You ever watch Grind, the skateboarding film?
Yes, I have. Yes, that's a good. It's a
Great
good
film.
soundtrack.
Fucking rips. Great soundtrack. Fucking Empire Records. Great soundtrack.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot
Violent.
in there. Those are the like adjacent. I watched The New Guy the other day. That soundtrack
Oh
rips as
my!
well. Like I'm just
I
a kid
love the
in
new
there and stuff
guy.
like that. The New Guy is great, bro. That's like
DJ
I feel like that
Qualls is
was
a weird yeah, but he's
kills
like
it. He's
it's a
so good.
yeah, he's a weird
And then
little dude, but he's a good cool guy. Like
I switched schools so much in my life that I like really related to that movie because it's like I'm in a new place and they're in a band in that
yeah,
movie, so it does fit. But like I'd be at a new school and like sometimes I'd be at a school like and I'd kind of be like a loser at this school and then I'd go to another school and be like the pop kind of would just vary and stuff like that. So I'm like, this guy just like reinvented himself. Like what a badass. Like his name's Dizzy. He's cool. He's dating the lady with the with the bandana, bandana
yeah.
blouse. Like he did very well for himself. This and that. And it's like, and then the soundtrack rips. And there's a great line in there the guy in the drummer, the big dude, he's just like, my dad loves that bike more than he loves me. He's like, that's not true. He's like, it is. He wrote it in my birthday card. I love it. I love it. I've used that many times in my life. It's just a great line. Shout out to that movie. But my
That's great.
music movies, three of them. We'll do three real quick. Number one,
Okay.
the Together TV film.
Oh God,
Obviously,
yes. Oh my
obviously, I'm a
God,
huge,
yes.
together in the house, put your hands in the air, we're gonna make you bounce. Come on, I'm
Yes, we
obviously
are.
like I wanted to be Mickey Park very badly. Second, and like
Evan
legitimately
Farmer.
just
Shout
a
out Evan Farmer.
oh yeah, just a great fucking movie is Almost Famous. Like Almost
Oh yeah.
Famous makes me like I feel, and it's like it starts in San Diego. Like he lives in Ocean Beach. They're at the San Diego Sports Arena, the shot where like, he first meets Penny Lane and they're trying like that's at the sports arena. Like there's so much history there, and it's like right there in San
Yeah.
Diego. And there's just like it's just Cameron Crowe is just a fucking man. It's a great movie. It just captures shit so well where it's just like this is because that's the story. There's this great literally my favorite Bruce Springsteen song is "Racing in the Street." And in "Racing in the Street," he's like
Yeah.
the first couple verses happen, then the last verse, he's like, I don't know, what happens here. And Steven Van Zandt tells Bruce, he's like, that's the end of the song. He's racing this and that, and then he meets the girl, and the story's over. Like it's just that. Then the guy kind of disappears. That's
Yeah.
the end of the thing. Like not everything ends with this big climactic thing or with this big blow. Just like sometimes just things kind of fucking drift apart. And I thought that movie did a really good job of being like kind of just how it ends.
Yeah.
That being said, number one
100%.
music movie of all time by 1,000 miles, and a movie that I would argue is maybe one of the most progressive, self-affirming, self-love, whatever type of movies of all time. School of Rock. School of fucking
School of
Rock.
Rock.
There's a
Yes.
kid in there that's the gayest 11-year-old that's ever been on TV or on a movie, ever been
Yes.
on a screen at
100%.
that point. And at no point are they calling him any sort of slurs or anything like that. They're not really,
Never.
like making fun of him for any of that. It's just kind of like, okay, that's what you
He
like.
was
That's what
Kurt
you
from
like.
Glee before Kurt from Glee existed. So
Yeah,
like,
and it
yeah,
was and it was just like, and especially at
essentially.
that time, like in that came out in 2003, we would have been like those kids would have been calling him names and stuff like that. We were not nice people back then,
Yeah.
but like they didn't do that in the movie. The big girl's like, I want to sing, but like I can't. I'm big. He's like, motherfucker, I'm big too. Like you can still sing. Lawrence, the piano guy, he doesn't think he's cool. He's like, bro, you are cool. You rip the piano in a kick-ass band. Like there's just like so much positivity in that movie where it's just like it's so like to me it's ahead of its time. It's just like like these things don't matter. You can love yourself, and one great rock show can change the world. It's like just this fucking beautiful message. Like this movie
It
legitimately
is.
makes me cry. I actually went and saw this movie the day I got my first guitar. It was
Wow.
fall of 2003, and I think like a week before this, I've kind of explained. My dad walked in on me watching Dashboard, and he's probably like, fuck, like, is my son gay? And he's like, like, do you want a guitar? And I'm like, yeah, I already know how to play guitar. I lied. And then there was like a homeless gentleman nearby, Kyle, and I went to him and I was like, yo, my dad said he'll get me a guitar. I've already been telling him you've been teaching me, like, I'm gonna pay you, you're gonna teach me. So I kind of worked an angle there. My dad got me the guitar on a Monday. I remember we
Wow.
he picked me up from school and went to this place. He had a coworker that like played guitar too, that like helped him pick it out, just like a shitty Yamaha acoustic. And then that night I went to School of Rock, and it was just like that's everything. I want to do that. I truly believe that there's Battle of the Bands at 11 a.m. in the morning in cities that are sold out. That's not true at all. I learned later on, but like yeah, and
Yes.
there's this where he does like the big flow chart on the board of all the bands, and he's explaining like, oh,
I
psychedelic
love
rock,
it.
punk rock, here, this, and that, and Bonzo goes, Bitburger is playing, and you can see that the drummer kids like really like taking it in. It's just like it's like I'm getting like goosebumps
I
literally
love
just
that
thinking
drummer
about
kid.
right. It's Freddie,
Yes.
badass movie, and
Freddie.
just it's Miranda Cosgrove, right? Is that her name? She's in there, and just
Yeah, Summer. Yeah,
breakout
play Summer.
fucking
Yeah.
performance. Summer, the class
That was a
factotum,
great
just
performance for her.
kills it. Mike
Yeah.
White, I believe is his name. His roommate in the film, I think actually like Jack Black's roommate. I think he actually wrote the film, and
I
it's
think he did. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's just fucking great. Like
Oh
I
no, it
you put that
is.
on, oh, it's
There's
great.
a reason why it's not only still talked about today. I mean, but it's become more bigger than just a movie, right? It became a
Yeah,
Broadway
it became like
musical.
a Broadway musical. There's School of Rocks in LA. I'm sure they're elsewhere too, where it's
Yeah.
like they're basically like after school programs for kids to
Yeah.
make bands.
Yeah. I mean, and then let's not even and then the songs and stuff that they like obviously Jack Black, right? I
But
mean,
still, they're
it's
they're
great songs. Like
they're great songs. And like that
The
Zach, the other
Legend of the
guitar player
Rent.
kid, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
it's
it's a
a
great
great movie.
yeah. It is. It's funny, like none of us are like, oh yeah, Purple Rain or like or anything like that. But I mean, those are
No,
great movies in and of themselves. No, I mean, School of Rock is great. Movie soundtracks, though, I know we haven't talked much about. It's not real. It's well for me. There was a time where the only thing I listened to was the Garden State soundtrack. Um, I, I, I thought I was gonna be. I was a
you're like, bro,
weird
the shins
man.
fucking rip, bro. These sub
I was
pop
like,
bands
shins,
are great.
right? I was like, oh, great, this is awesome. What is that? What's the one song? the song. Oh my god, that's playing when he's like kind of high. Oh, I can't think of the song now. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But I thought I wanted to be a manic pixie dream girl like Natalie Portman so bad because that was
Yeah,
playing. And
yeah.
then New
That's
Girl didn't help either.
I was
Like
gonna say,
anything with
yeah,
Zoe Deschanel didn't help either.
I'm realizing as we're saying this, yes, from the start with Phantom Menace, Natalie, between Natalie Portman and Zoe Deschanel, I think my entire perception of things, it's like, yeah, that's
Yes.
you gotta find a crazy weird brunette that's just kind of out there, like yeah, and they'll ruin your life, kind of thing. Like that's
Yeah.
what many
Let him.
men like me are we're chasing exactly because it's like that's yeah these magical women from movies. It's like I can fix you,
You could fix me.
I can fix
It
you.
was Waiting Line. Waiting Line by Zero Seven. I loved that song.
Sick.
And I listened to it all the time. I forgot that Coldplay was on there too. Oh my god. Yeah, that
Wow,
was
yeah,
a
Coldplay was still
yeah.
cool.
They were
While
so
on
cool
Garden
back then.
State, Juno was great. Shout out Kimya Dawson,
Juno,
Moldy
yep.
Peaches. That was just like changed the game.
Yep.
You know what movie has a very, in general, you know whose movies have surprisingly good soundtracks? Adam fucking Sandler. Those early Adam Sandler
Yeah, I don't
movies
think
had so many great songs on them. Like I feel like he was a music nerd.
I
Like he
don't
just
think I
liked bands and stuff like that. Big
well he
Daddy's the one
does
I'm
I
thinking
mean
of.
he does know, yeah. Like
That's what
he
I'm saying. Yeah,
does I
he
mean he
literally is a
played
musician.
music.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, oh shit, yeah, literally. But like Big Daddy specifically, like there's the Sheryl Crow cover of Sweet Child of Mine, which whatever. Garbage is
Uh,
on there. When I Grow Up was like that
right.
soundtrack. And soundtracks were just such a big deal. Like we had these CDs,
We
and
did.
there was the George Harrison song is on there, and I rewatched this in like my 20s, and at the very end, after he loses Julian at the courthouse and stuff like that, there's a
Yes.
montage, and in the montage, it's "Growing Up" by Bruce Springsteen, and I watched this as an adult after I went like and became like a wild Bruce fan, and then I watched this and I realized that was the first place I ever saw Bruce. I like started crying just because it was like just such just the power of
Oh.
music in the right place in a movie. It's like it's just this, and now I'm a dad, and like I grew up kind of like Julian in that movie. Like my dad, I mean, same way I am. We're pretty non-traditional, like we're kind of,
Yeah.
we're good guys, just kind of degenerate, like just not traditional, this or that. Like fucking, it's the same thing. So I really related to that kid. Even my brother would always say, he's like, I just imagine you were Frankenstein, you were the kid, and like I feel like that's me now, and like I can't like if my kids aren't here, if they're at their mom's, I can't watch Big Daddy because I'll cry and I'll feel like a bad dad. But if they're here, I'll watch it, and it's just like this is awesome. Like I love you guys. You know what I mean? Like I'll start feeling
Yeah.
guilt. It's like have I not done enough for this, that? It's just like
I know
really
what you mean.
gets me more emotional than it should.
Well, that's the power of Adam Sandler.
Yeah, thank you, Sandman. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
my
sneaks
favorite
it in there.
Sandman movie. Yeah, it's my
He
favorite one.
sneaks it in there.
Second honorary mention to Uncut Gems, which soundtrack I don't really like it. It makes me uncomfortable, but great film.
Well, that's more modern and it's a little different. Look,
Yeah, it's just a
it's always gonna be
score just
Wedding
designed to
Singer.
fuck with you.
Wedding Singer is always my favorite, and 51st Dates because him and Drew Barrymore. But Wedding Singer
Ah,
soundtrack
yes.
also
What do you
pretty
say? Singer soundtrack
fantastic.
rips, and I actually so there's a
I
band that
mean,
I'll be interviewing this band, and it'll be a Robcast in a few weeks. They're called Endless Holiday, and I actually know this guy like from like a random Facebook group or something. I've known him for like 7 years or something, and he randomly followed
wild.
me like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, bro, like I know you, but I'll send over. He did a cover of like Somebody Kill Me. And it's great, like a big full band, like kind of pop punky one where the verses are all kind of tight, like carsy,
Yes,
and then just fucking blows up, and just like it's really well done. And that's really kind of what sold me,
I
being
love it.
like no, we can definitely talk because like we got to talk about this wedding singer shit.
Yeah, because that's awesome. And that is a great. I want to watch that movie now. I also
Yeah,
want to
fucking Linda,
rewatch. I know Linda. Oh my god, she was the worst.
hey Linda,
I know.
yeah,
I also hate Linda. Yes,
yeah,
but yeah,
good.
no. Soundtracks are so important back then.
I
Even
feel like
TV soundtracks.
this could literally be. I think at some point we will do a full soundtrack episode in general, just because like
We
it's
do.
just it was a thing that drove the industry for a while. Like CD sales were so good that soundtracks, especially back then, like mid to late 90s into the maybe early 2000s, like there'd be a big artist that would do like the one or two signature songs, and that CD would sell like a motherfucker. We made
Yeah.
we made two records with this guy Doug Grion, who did like tons of stuff with Stone Temple Pilots, Velvet Revolver, fucking Show Crow, all this.
Yep.
I remember by his bathroom, like literally on the ground, was a platinum record for the Austin Powers movie, The Spy Who Shagged Me, number two. You remember
Oh
Madonna had Beautiful
yeah.
Stranger on there, but there's like a random
Yep.
Scott Weiland like solo track or Stone Temple track or something on there that he worked on. It's just like bro, you got a platinum record here. He's like, fucking, where do you want me to hang my Austin Powers 2 platinum record at, bro? I'm like,
I
fair
mean,
point. Fair point, I guess. I
it's
guess when you have
true.
multiple ones, you can get picky and choosy. If I only had one, I'd have that shit on my ceiling. But
I know. Look, no one liked Ben Affleck's Daredevil in 2003, but everyone loved that Evanescence "Bring Me to Life" song.
is that what it's
Everyone.
from? Is from that?
Yes. Yeah. Uh huh. There.
No,
It was like it was
the
all.
signature songs and movies were like that was just such a big deal, and it was
Yeah. I
so
mean,
I
like
loved it.
obviously we'll talk about Spider-Man and Vindicated, and you know,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
put this
that
on the
was
docket. No, we're doing a
Breaking Benjamin's Diary of
we're doing a
Jane. Yeah.
we're doing a soundtrack episode in a couple months something. And Spider Man,
Yes.
is it the first one where they have the fucking Josie Scott Nickelback one where he's like
Yes.
this and a hero like that
Hero.
one?
I don't
Hero
care. I
rips.
love
I'm
that song.
sorry.
I don't
That
care what
song
people think about
rips.
Nickelback. I love Hero.
No, yeah, yeah, well, pro Nickelback, and that fucking song is undeniable. I'm sorry.
It is. It is.
Great
Sorry,
track.
guys. No, yeah. I just want a reason to bring up the Buffy the Vampire Slayer soundtrack because it lived. I lived my life by that in middle school, so I
I was gonna
needed to
say that
definitely
as
bring
well
it up.
too. I mean, and also I mean, there's a connection between that Buffy the Vampire Slayer and my favorite band of the moment of the last few months, Combat. Like, I mean, when he was here and he's like
That's right.
guided by voices,
Got
you're
voices,
literally
right?
like like,
I was like,
yeah.
I
So
haven't heard them forever. I know that's crazy, but yeah, we will have to do a full episode on that because that is a great topic to talk about because it just really did shape the scene for a while. If you put a song in a movie or TV show, man, you could get really popular off that. Now,
yes you can. No, back then
well,
that
now
was
it's
the
come
they
back. It's come back a little bit. Not a
yes.
lot, but a little bit. Yeah.
Honorary mention too, by the way, before I forget, that thing you do.
Oh,
That Thing You Do rips. The song written by Adam Schlesinger from Fountains of Wayne, rest in peace. Someone I would call legitimately one of the greatest songwriters in the
love
fucking
Fountains of
history of the
Wayne.
world. Our
Mm-hmm.
boy Dane, like last week, he he listened to like one of my songs or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, this sounds like it's Fountains of Wayne thing." I was like, all day I was riding a high for that. I was like, "That's the best compliment I could ever get is to be like Kirkland Fountains of Wayne." Thank you.
Right.
Like, God, wow, that's everything I've wanted to be. You hear it. Like, and that song is
Yeah.
great. And that movie, same thing too, where it's like that Bruce Springsteen song where like you think the band's gonna like they're gonna break, and then the movie's gonna end with them performing at some award show or some shit like always happens, and
And
it's like
nothing.
the band just
Yeah.
kind of falls apart. One guy leaves with the
But
girlfriend, the
that's
other guy
life.
quits. That's
Yep.
life. That's 99.999% of the way things play out with this. I remember that's when I watched, and when it ended like that, I was like, that's the best anticlimactic ending I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like, yeah,
And a
you
great
don't need to,
performance
yeah.
by Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tom Hanks, great. Yeah, great directorial debut. While we're on Tom Hanks
Mm-hmm.
soundtracks, do you remember the movie Orange County?
Oh my God.
I
Yes, because
watched
the
it
whole
randomly like a
butterflies.
week ago.
Yes, Crazy Town
Well,
butterfly.
she's in the Nissan Xterra. Yeah, and they see yeah.
Whenever I think of when he finally gets to college and he's so excited, and the girls in sorority sing the song, and he's like, "Wait, college is just like my high
It's
school."
just the same thing. Great
Same
movie.
thing.
I randomly, like your TV, like now there's like the random
Yes.
movie, like all the shitty streaming services that are free, or
Oh, I
whatever.
want
And
to
it was
watch
Orange County
Orange
popped
County
up.
so bad.
Yeah, and I put it, and I was like, this is a great movie. No disrespect
Great
to Chet
soundtrack.
Hanks, the king of white boy summer and all that, but Colin Hanks, fucking great. Played that role great.
Oh, I
They
think yes. I
capture
think he was perfect in
Orange
that role.
County so well, just like the shittiness, the rich people thing. And I think that movie's the first time I ever heard Social Distortion, actually.
Oh,
Like there's a
maybe
scene
for
where
me
they play
too. I think
"Story of My
yeah,
Life" at the very beginning, and I rewatching, and I was
yeah.
like, because I remember going to see this in theaters. I think in the seventh grade or eighth grade with it was my friend Nikhil Narayan's birthday. Shout out Nikhil, who's probably not listening. Like, and it was like, yeah, it's
Maybe.
cool fucking songs, cool songs throughout it. And, like a lot of those things I'd heard, and same thing, Jack Black's in there, and I think that would have been maybe one of the first
Yep.
times I'd seen Jack Black, like, and actually in like a major
Yeah.
role. I
Yeah. Doing something like that. Yeah.
There's a line in there, same thing, where like he calls him and he's like, I need you to check this thing. He's looking for like his acceptance letter or something like that. And he's just like, do I have to turn on your computer? He's just like, he's such a good fucking story. Or he tries to have him pee in the cup for him. It's just, he plays the role so well. Great movie.
Yes. It was
Great movie,
fantastic.
great
Oh, it's a
soundtrack.
good movie. Yes, I forgot Catherine O'Hara, John Lithgow played the parents, and
Oh
God,
yeah,
and they're
and they're
so
just all
funny.
over the place. They're over the top. They're great. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
great movie. Yeah. Who wants
yeah,
to be a fucking
Well,
writer? Yeah, like you got to read like I would have thought the same thing the dad does. I'm like, I don't think any of these people make any money, brother. Like, you
yeah.
know,
But I don't think they do either.
I don't
Not in this
know.
economy. I know.
Yeah, and when they do make money, they end up turning out to be like, perfs.
Yeah, most of the time. Hmm.
Yeah. I only know one author that's made any money, like crazy money in the last 20 years. And yeah, that happened to her. So my sample size is 100%. That will happen to you. You sell too many books, you will go off the rails on Twitter and say weird things.
Yes, it does happen.
Doesn't have to.
No,
Last
it
one I
doesn't
think
have
we
to.
had here for the one here, and this is really the kicker to
Oh
me. Let
yes,
me explain this to you.
yes. You need to
You're
explain
going
it
to a
to me because I
gas
don't
station. This
understand
is
this
the
one.
$20 at the gas station. You're going on a road trip. This is really kind of a
Okay,
psychological, it's like a Rorschach test kind of thing. You're going on a
okay,
trip and you're stopping, and you're not stopping at a weird, you're stopping at like the regular Chevron or whatever, like a very large gas station that has most of this stuff. You got 20 bucks on you. You're going on a road trip, however long you want to be. You're getting snacks. What are your snacks of choice for a road trip, Amanda?
I don't know how much the snacks cost.
You
Okay,
get a rough idea. I
hmm,
mean, you can go over a couple dollars, this or that. This isn't some Price or Right shit. You're not going to
20
get
bucks.
bounced. Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
roughly 20
Okay,
bucks.
got it.
Yeah.
All right, you're not Drew Carey. Okay, good. Let's see. First and foremost, I need a beef and cheese stick.
Ooh, good
I
call. Beef and
love.
cheese stick. Love gas
I
station
need.
meat. Yeah.
Yes, I need beef and cheese sticks. I think is it Jack Links has a really good like combo one with like a
Ooh,
sharp cheddar and your regular old beef.
little
I just
salam.
like
Yeah.
I like it's a little I like a little saltiness and I gotta love cheese and it has a protein so it keeps you full longer. So I need to have that. I'm also gonna need some chocolate covered pretzels, probably like the dipped
Ooh.
ones. I love chocolate covered pretzels, also salty and sweet, a good combination. But I can just kind of snack on them as I'm driving. Doesn't really take much. If I'm other snacks I need to have. Okay, I'll probably need a drink. So I'm
Yes.
probably
Yeah.
going to at least get a Diet Coke, a fountain Diet Coke from the machine at the gas station. It's going to be a gas station that sells Diet Coke and not Pepsi products, first of all.
Good. Yeah.
So,
I think in this situation, if the
yes.
gas station doesn't have exactly what you want, it's a common thing. You could go to a different gas station in this hypothetical too. So yeah, you're at a gas
Let's
station that
just,
definitely
okay.
has Coke products. Yes.
Good deal. So I'm getting a large super gulp Diet Coke to take with me because I will just feed off of that for the entire road trip. Um, Let me see. That wouldn't still cost 20 bucks. I still have a lot more to go. All right, what else would I do? I'd get some gum because I need gum
Oh, interesting.
to cleanse
I
my
feel like the gum
palate in
economy isn't the
between.
same. It's one of those things where like if your personal experience doesn't line up, like you just assume no one does it. Like I've kind of imagined like gum is on the downward now just because I guess I'm not in
Yeah.
school, so I don't see people having gum. I assume that like gum sales are just plummeting because I haven't bought a fucking pack of gum in my adult life
Yeah.
ever.
I mean, I do.
I'm
But
gonna
like
say,
I
yeah, I
buy it
guess, yeah,
for
you're keeping it
road
stimulated. Yeah.
trips or yeah, I guess it's just me. No, I like or buy it for like the plane rides when I go on planes because of my
Okay. I
ears popping.
feel like the
So
only
I
time
buy
I've ever
gum.
bought gum, same thing as like airplanes too. Yeah,
Yep.
maybe.
Yes. So, but then when I'm driving, if I eat something that leaves like a bad taste in my mouth, I need gum to like,
That's fair.
you know. Yes. So I'll have gum. Let's see. Other things that I want in my gas station snacks. Some type of trail mix would be good.
Okay. Trail mix is a
And
safe
then
bet. That's good.
maybe
That's good.
yes. And if it happens to be a sheets, which I would hope it would be, probably a sub from Sheets
I've heard
because
about sheets. Yeah, our our
they
our,
are
our friend Catherine,
badass.
yeah, praises like the Shisket, I think it's or something. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
Schmagel. I don't. They all got weird names.
I would get the Sheets turkey sub. I'll get like a foot long so I can like have two halves for later and like one for now, one for later. Get myself a turkey sub. I love their turkey subs. And then I would probably get some type of chips, probably like some ruffles with that as a
But
snack
regular
as
Ruffles, you're
well.
getting the weird ones, the cheddar sour cream ones or something. Because you have the gum. Like the cheddar sour cream ones are
Ooh.
gonna stink, but like you got gum.
No, but I want cheddar sour cream because those taste better.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I love cheddar sour cream. And then I'd probably get. You think I've hit $20 yet?
I don't know. I imagine I kind of would think that, but then I'm also
I
thinking
think
you're in
I'm.
Kentucky. I imagine all these things cost less there. I feel like you might be able to get
No,
a
not that
yeah.
much less. I think I'm almost there. If I had to choose like one more thing, it would be one more sweet thing, and that would probably be a Snicker bar. So there we go.
Interesting. Nice
Yeah, that
choice.
would be my snacks. Yeah.
So I'm going to the gas station across the street from you because yours has Coke products. I want Pepsi products. What I would really like,
Whoa.
what I would prefer is 12-ounce can of Mountain Dew. But a lot of the times they don't
God.
sell single 12-ounce can of Mountain Dew. Let me just say for the record, I don't drink the plastic bottle Mountain Dew. I think that it is the lowest quality of any of the sodas. I don't want to drink out of a plastic bottle. My dad
I'm
used to
a
get it
fan
for
of
me.
plastic.
No. It's not good. And the 16-ounce cans, like so realistically, what I would probably get, because they usually have them at the gas station, they have the 16-ounce cans. I would get two of these.
Okay.
I'm not happy about though. The 16-ounce cans in general just don't hold the same level of coldness. I don't know why. Like they're always like a little warmer. I don't know if it's like a physics energy thing, like the space, like just I don't know, but
That's
they're never
weird.
as good. But I will have to settle for those here. So I have two cans of that. Um, I'm also going to grab Haribo Gold Bears, the classic gummy bear,
Only my
regular bag of
daughter.
them. That's the best candy there is. It's one of those things where those have been around for like 100 years. They make all these
Yeah.
weird new candies now. We did candy right the first time. It's the Haribo Gold Bear. It's perfect. So that is saying, I'm kind of feeling my basic thing on here. I'm gonna get some pretzels, I think. You know, the snack belt.
Sour.
You grew up in the snack belt, that part of Pennsylvania, like the Hanovers and things
We
like that.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would maybe
that's
get something like that. Maybe a rolled gold. I don't know. I don't really like. I don't really do prejudice against pretzels. Really, I'm not a pretzel just. Um, so that's that. Pretzels, two sodas. I feel like I'm about $9. So I'm going to also get the king size, the four Reese's peanut butter cups. I want all four, and I'm
ooh.
going to eat all four of them before I leave the gas station over the trash next to where I pump the gas. I will be standing there eating it like that.
Why?
Because I want them quick and because they will get what I would
Uh
really like to do is I'd like to put them in a fridge and get some coldness to them, but I'm not going to have this in this situation. I think realistically, if I was on a road
no.
trip, I have a cooler in the back. My Mountain Dews are already prepared and things like that, so I could save on that. But in this hypothetical, it's a rather quick road trip. So I'm going to get them. I'm going to eat them outside next to the gasoline, just like like a degenerate man. And here's what really gets interesting because the other options there, like candies, like, okay, I really like peanut M&Ms. Do I want peanut M&Ms in this situation? I don't know. I don't know if I do because I'm also thinking I'm going to catch a case of bloat at some point. You know what I mean? I don't want to be too bloated. I'm driving. I need to stay light on my feet because I'll get tired. Because that's also the same reason I'm not going with like a spicy bite or a hot dog or a dirty AM/PM sandwich or something like that. Like those appeal to me. But in this situation, I don't think it's a good idea. That being said, I do think I would get a sour candy of sorts. I like the sour strips. I really enjoy those. Airhead makes a really nice
Okay.
one. I think that's considerable. And with my last little bit, um, this is tough. This is tough. This is tough. Wow. Another Mountain Dew.
Another batch. Just one more for the
Another Mountain
road.
Dew. Just a little more Mountain Dew for the road. Yeah. A little more Mountain Dew for the road. And yeah, I think we're drawing the line at that. That's a respectable order.
Yeah, I think that is a respectable order. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna save
For
it if there's
a
any couple.
lone man
Yeah.
on a road trip.
Right? Yeah, I don't want to get too weird with it. You know what I mean? Like chips, like it's gonna, it's just, I'm not like a huge chip guy. It's getting messy. I don't want to be dirtying up my steering wheel with Dorito dust and shit.
Oh, yeah, not Dorito dust.
Yeah, like I don't like that. Sour Patch Kids maybe would be in there, like a sour based candy, not the sour Skittles. I just recently bought a
Ugh.
bunch of sour Skittles, but like they will hurt my teeth. I have like mainly fake teeth, veneers and things like that, and
Yeah.
they will give me an owie on the teeth that aren't fake still that are like
Ow.
hidden back there. Yeah, it
Yeah.
sucks.
Mm.
So I'm not about that life. Sour Patch Kids though, I love Sour Patch Kids because
So good.
I saw a thing, Tom, same reason I mentioned I use ladies deodorant because I saw a like an MTV like True Life or like one of the like roads, like they'd follow a band on tour. They had
Yeah.
Martopus, and they were at a grocery store, and he bought the ladies' deodorant. He explained, he's like, the smell is less strong, but it's just as like powerful. Like it still blocks out the sweat, but you don't smell like a fucking locker room. And that really resonated with me. That's why I use Secret. The reason I eat the Sour Patch Kids, I saw a thing where Tom DeLonge is like, I eat the Sour Patch Kids when we perform because it like lubricates your throat, so you don't tear your throat up as much. So that's why I ate them. Like I would be eating them on stage, and like I don't know how true
Really?
that was. Yeah, yeah, like because the sour will create like a little moisture and things like that. So I believe it lubricates your throat a little better, which is good too because like I used to have a problem where um I mean you shouldn't be smoking and like smoking will dry your throat out. So
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
the way to counter that is Sour Patch Kids. So kids, if you're gonna smoke, eat some Sour Patch Kids before you perform a show.
That's exactly what we all suggest.
Yeah, yeah, as you've probably always heard. Yeah, that's the best advice you can follow, tried and true.
Yes, there we go. Good advice for everyone here on Emo Kids. If you're gonna
Yes.
smoke, eat Sour Patch
Eat some
Kids.
Sour Patch Kids, even it out, even it out. Yeah. But I think
Even it out. That's a good
I
way.
think
That's a good
I'm
one. Yeah,
living with that. Yeah, I'm living with that.
I like that order. It's good. I was thinking while you were talking about it that if I had, I might switch out my Snickers. I forgot if I'm going for regional. If I'm out of Sheets, I could probably get a tasty cake. So I would
It's a
probably
tasty
switch it out
cake.
for that.
I don't even know what that
Oh,
is.
taste. So Tasty Cake is a brand of baked goods that you can get. I mean, they're like store bought, like a Hostess. But for me, I think they are better than Hostess. Sorry, everyone. But you can only get them. They are regional. Like you can't really get them here in Kentucky. Um,
I have no
but
idea.
like they have like honey buns and things like that. But I like they're called candy cakes, and they're little like vanilla cakes, and they are covered in peanut butter in like a and then covered in chocolate, and they are so delicious. And they come in a little 2-pack or 4-pack, and they are amazing. And they also have their I like their cupcakes better, like Hostess cupcakes. They have like the cupcakes like the you like Hostess stuff have
Yeah,
with like the frosting and stuff on them. They come in a 2-pack or a four
but
pack.
it's better.
I I think it's better because they're made fresh daily according to their thing. I think they're bakeries in Philadelphia, and I mean it's a large corporation. Like don't get me wrong, but I mean it's not like you can get it like everywhere. It is
No,
definitely a regional thing. But if I'm going to be going to Sheets, I could probably pick myself up some candy cakes while I'm there. Those are yes. So
interesting.
I probably would have to change out that now that I'm thinking about it. So there we go. So if
I'm
you're
also
ever in
taking
that area, do that.
go to
Get some of those.
Sheets
Try
and you
them
get the yes. I need to go to Sheets and I need to go to Wawa. I've heard a lot about these things. I haven't
Oh my
experienced them.
god.
Yeah.
You have to get Wawa iced tea. So
Iced
good.
tea? Is it like the American? It's where it's like just iced tea. That's what it is.
Yeah, like their iced tea. Yeah. Wawa's tea is so good.
In Canada, we don't really do the iced tea thing. So I remember like the iced tea in Canada is just like
Yes.
Nestea or Brisk or whatever. And then like I remember coming down here and ordering an iced tea one time,
Oh
expecting like
yeah.
the soda and just being like, "What the fuck is this?" And it was
Yeah,
iced,
no, yeah,
actual
no,
iced
it's
tea. Yeah, and
different.
I did not
Actual
know.
iced tea. And
I'm swapping
that's what
out.
Wawa is.
I'm swapping out my Sour Patch Kids. I would like sometimes they have like a nice like a little mini white trash charcuterie board that's just like the the pepperoni, like not the stick, but the pepperoni with the cheese, maybe some grapes or some apple slices in that motherfucker, like
Yes.
chocolate almonds. I'm
Yes.
getting those. Or if they have the can't remember the name of them. You know the adult Lunchables where they have like you know like
Yes.
they have
Hillshire Farms has them. I know they
Hillshire.
do.
There we go. That's the one.
Yes,
That's the one. Yes, that's the one. Yes, I'm
they
getting
do.
one of those. That's the move. Same thing. Sometimes those crackers, those little crackers they have, those little crustinis are hard as shit. So I might just skip those and just straight up raw dog the cheese and pepperoni into my mouth. But for
I
straight
would.
nutrients, I'm getting that one. Yeah, I don't need the
There we
bread. We don't
go.
need the bread.
No, you don't need the bread. You already have the bread on something else, I'm sure.
But yes, I feel good with that order.
There we go. We are good. Now we know what to get each other when we go on road trips.
There we go. Yes, we're ready. I have this order ready.
Yes. Excellent. All right. Well, I think those are all the questions we have for today.
That's great.
But we
Yeah.
have more that we'll use like for other fan question episodes when they come
It's
down
good to
the
mix
pike.
these in every now and then so we don't just have heavy
Oh
ones. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like the least episode was a little like diving into some heavy stuff. It was like next week we have a very cool one. We have a guest. We're gonna be diving into ska and just like
Love
nicer every now and then to
that.
have like a palate cleanser where it's just like, okay, let's get a little morning radio here, you know? Get a little morning
Yeah, let's
radio.
get a little more radio. Yes.
Like,
Yeah. So yeah, let's do it.
well, if you're watching this, please do us a favor. If you're listening to this, you need to like and subscribe. If you don't do it, I'm not going to be able to get my kids presents for Christmas this year, not because of an affording thing, just because that's the punishment if you guys don't like us, like I'm going to have to take it out on someone and I don't know you guys well enough. So please, for the sake of my daughter who wants a nice new kitchen and my son who probably wants a new PlayStation game, you guys got to do that. I don't want to let them down. Don't let me let my kids down. Please subscribe and to the podcast, share it
Yes.
with your friends and like it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like and subscribe to the channel. Wherever you on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this or watching it right now, or on all
Please.
places. Yeah. And then check us out on all of our social media sites too. At Emo Kids Anonymous, I think. Yes. TikTok, Twitter, X, I think is what it's really called. We're also on Instagram. Yeah. But yeah, next week we'll be talking about ska and with a special guest. We're really excited about it. I am very excited about this. So
Yes. No, that's
yeah,
gonna be fun. I'm excited
I
to
think it
dive
will
into
be.
some ska and yeah.
Have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you guys all next week.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.